continuing the drama from yesterday, all the games kicking back off again. Of course, I'm joined by Danny, and well, we'll see a return E in our first best of three. We're into the lower section of the Swiss stage to kickstart things off. It's to lose easy.
Yeah, and of course, yesterday we got to witness a team like Illuminar play. And it wasn't that they were playing poorly. I'll say this. They were playing some great CS. The problem is, though, Tiki Taken were just a tad bit better. When it came down to winning the must-win rounds, Tiki Taken surpassed all expectations. When it came down to having stellar T sides, Tiki Taken also did an amazing job on both maps of Mirage as well as Vertigo, but yet the problem still remains for a team like Illuminar. Their open door policy in terms of the fifth player rates is still very much in hospital, and they have to keep on using different stand-ins. So previously it had been Rowland, now they had to use the player in the form of PHR. And here in the Swiss stage, so far, as expected, they are on the starting things off on the bad foot.
Yeah, I think we spoke a lot of yesterday about the fact that when we compare Rowland and PHR to the performance, again, not that he didn't turn up. PHR actually had an incredible game in terms of the way that he played Vertigo yesterday. They actually had some very solid numbers, nearly topped the leaderboard. But I think if you look at the way that the fluidity of the rest of the side was with Rylan compared to PHR, it feels like we're watching a whole different team. I mean, we came on to see Illuminar last week actually go and win a tournament with Rylan. They win Multivives Cup number 3. They play an incredible run of form. I only think they dropped like a single map along the way, maybe. So they play a very pretty much flawless game. But you look at the way that PHR has sort of come into this, and it doesn't feel as fluid, despite PHR actually having decent fragging power.
Yeah, that's the problem, isn't it? Whenever you have a fifth player coming in, he probably has his own spots he wants to play, but has to adapt to the player he's replacing, which of course doesn't allow him to perform to his max capabilities. But I will say this though, just like you said, PHR, he played all right. That's the thing. It wasn't like he was at the bottom of the leaderboard. No, he was out there at the sort of like mid portion. So it's really not that bad considering that's a player that hasn't played CS officially for 5 months. That's pretty impressive, what he has managed to accomplish. But that's speaking about the Illuminar roster. Speaking of some accomplishments you probably shouldn't be that proud of, CR4ZY. CR4ZY's last run of form hasn't been that great. So much so, in fact, have you seen the alternate attacks game they were playing against yesterday?
Yeah, I believe so. It was a very It was like a overtime endeavor, massive close game, but ended 2-0, right? I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, and thing is as well, alternate attacks on that second map, they were down 12-3 in the first half, and then it was 14-3 in favor of CR4ZY, and CR4ZY couldn't secure the next 2 rounds, and they lost
Ooh.
every single round in a row, and alternate attacks managed to close things out 2-0. Now, I had high hopes for a team like CR4ZY, initially, I didn't have those high hopes. Then I see, wow, they're actually getting results and they're looking pretty solid. And then you have, this result, the result against LDLC, having a close game against Navi Junior, as well as losing to Moscow 5 Academy. These past few days for CR4ZY have been pretty difficult.
Oh, 100%. I mean, we're looking at the way, maybe we can even say with the likes of SG Pro yesterday, where they're beating teams that they are able to beat, but then they're having some good games. But then you look at, the run of form, and you look at teams like CR4ZY, who we know have beaten solid teams in the past, but aren't getting there in the moment. Like, they should be able to beat alternate attacks, or at least take it to 3 maps, like you say. The fact they were down so heavily there, ATN, that should have gone to a 3rd map there. We should have seen that one. But again, yeah, the results, like you say, they're beating teams that they should be able to beat. But again, against this higher level opposition, they do seem to be struggling more than not being able to even win a map. And we can see, speaking of maps, the ones that we've got here today, we have Inferno as the first pick chosen by CR4ZY, which I think is even a little bit of a dangerous pick considering Illuminar are pretty competent on this map. And Train is the second. I think that's pretty obvious. If it's not Vertigo for Illuminar, then it's Train. Or, they play sort of 3 maps as their comfortable picks. So one of them was Train, and that is expected, leaving Vertigo as that 3rd map. So really, I feel like Illuminar have actually played a very nice veto.
Yeah, that's a great thing for a team like Illuminar, that they don't necessarily have a permaban, so to speak. A team like CR4ZY, What is the map they don't never, ever, ever play? That's this too.
Yeah.
Every single time they're going to a veto, it's their permaban. They're going to ban it outright. Whereas a team like Illuminar, they have a bit more leeway, From time to time, it really depends. It's the two maps that you don't really want to play. It's Overpass and it's Inferno.
Yeah.
They'll see how the opportunity is good for them. Maybe they'll play it in a decider. Very rarely they'll ever pick a map like Inferno or an Overpass. But here in this instance, I mean, they ban Overpass, which is a pretty okayish map for a team like Crazy. And so what ends up being picked is Inferno. Now, this is a map they've played themselves. A team like Illuminar, they got 4 times they played it, 50% win rate. It's not great, but it's also not that terrible. But at the same time, why Crazy have gone for this map pick is their ability to play it. And they've played it loads, 19 times the past 3 months, in fact.
Yeah, one of the most popular maps. I think it's definitely a solid choice to go for. I mean, they did play it again against Alternate Attacks yesterday, as sort of we mentioned. Or did they? Or was it Mirage and Vertigo? No, it might have been Mirage, actually, which I was... Yeah, okay, so fair enough. They haven't played it. So, yeah, like you say, it's one of their most common maps. They come into this at least having, let's say, a more stable pick. Yeah, I think against a team like Illuminar, who, sure, they've played it 4 times, 2 wins, pretty, expected for a team that can float a lot of maps, like you say. So I think for Crazy, they are coming into this almost looking for a bit more of an insurance pick, making sure that if they can win out on Inferno, they can at least go into Train and Vertigo if necessary, with the sort of thought in the back of their mind that we do have this first map already beaten. We can definitely get our third or second if we need to and sort of edge out the series in that way. I feel like this series, with the way that it is shaping up, though, should be going to Vertigo. I feel like with the way that both of these two teams play on their own individual map picks, we look at Inferno, Crazy should be touted to win this one, but I think even so, like, the bookies are favoring Illuminar in this position, and I think that's rightly so. I mean, you do look at their previous results, maybe there's a little bit lingering from the performance of Rallen, let's say, but you look at Illuminar, and I think just based off of Crazy's recent performance, they should be the favored team here, but Illuminar, we'll see where it goes. Knife round is kicking off. We'll get Inferno underway. We'll see exactly where this first map is going to take us. But it's Inferno. We want to see Crazy have a good performance. We want to see them bring a solid run to the table just to at least start the series off well.
Yeah, especially when we do go to that second map as well, on the map of Trade. I wonder how well can PHR adapt to that map, especially if it really depends what kind of position he'll be playing at. But if you'll have to play on the A bomb side, then I guess it's not that big of a deal. But if you'll have to play a more rotative role on the B side, for example, or as an anchor, oh geez, then there could be some issues for a guy like PHR. And I think if you were Crazy, you're going to realize the position in which a player like PHR is playing at, and you might consider going there a bit more often than the other areas of the map. However, same could be said on a map like Inferno. Really depends how much impact can this 5th player have right now. But of course, if we're looking for the 2 best players here in either squad, it is going to be Snacks here for the side of Illuminar, and Sensei as well. We've seen Sensei up on this map of Inferno. He was hitting some absolute insane shots. And let's see if he's going to be able to do a similar feat yet again. It's Inferno here to kick off the best of 3. Crazy starting things off here in the T side. Illuminar on the CT side.
See where this is going. Crazy straight into some pistols, pistols, Kevlar, and plenty of nades here. 2 smokes, 2 flashbangs, a single HG grenade. This screams out a B bomb site take. And that's exactly what this side is going to be going for. But Illuminar, they have read this incredibly well here. The one way they have been able to at least get into the minds of Crazy nice and early is this B-bomb site pistol round endeavor. These 2 smokes will be effective. 1 into CT, 1 into coffins. Should be a very simple way to go about this, or 1 to actually block off the first oranges, interestingly enough. That's a very audacious smoke, and as they block off the angles, at least Demk gets away with the early kill. Innocent able to chime in with an early trade, but look at how much damage is done, and Veggie, one of the players we highlighted yesterday, stepping up already.
So good. Very well played by Veggie. It felt like he was the lonesome defender there doing all the work and all the damage. Sensei, one of the highlighted players here for Crazy, trying to win out the 1v3. He's got a nice weapon to work with, the P250, but he has no armor, making him incredibly weak in this situation. Trying to get that bomb down, not going to go his way. Oh, Sensei actually eliminates the higher HP player PHR, and Veggie will secure a free K into the round. 1-0 start here for Illuminar. Great way to kick things off on their opponent's map pick.
Very nicely done. Interesting little bit of trivia as well. I was watching I think it was episode 17 of By the Numbers, just randomly scrolling through, and there was actually a sort of interview with Innocent. I think it was this time when he went to Penta, I believe, and Innocent said the one thing that would take him back to the Polish scene is a solid IGL. And he was saying in sort of 2018 how there was very little IGLs in the scene, and that Virtus Pro were essentially, it was when the Golden Five were pretty much dead. I think they had like 3 of their 5 left, let's say. And the one thing that I think Innocent was brought back to the Polish scene by was the way that he got to play with players like Oscarish and now with players like Snacks. The one thing that he wanted when he went to Penta was a solid IGL. He got Crystal, a very talented player, a very, very intelligent player in his own right. And I think the one thing that Innocent made his return back to the Polish scene is because he gets to play with players like Snacks. You know, maybe not the big names, but Mao's in there as well. They played together in the past and now are back together, and it just shows that you can still put a side together even despite not having these bigger names. And I think Illuminar, they've realized that they might need a bit of extra support in there. I think Veggie's turning out to be one of those players that was discovered, sure, in Virtus Pro, but he's actually really started to blossom as an individual in this Illuminar team. So these players are starting to really come together very well. And like we said yesterday, I think you made a good point. Illuminar are the best side at the moment in the Polish side that could make a breakout into the top tier.
Yeah, I think that's fair as well. Especially if we're talking about a player like Veggie, you know. He was out there, picked up by the Polish team VP, but at the time when he was picked up, I mean, he just wasn't that great. He was okay-ish, but he wasn't putting in some monster-level performances. But here in this roster, fair enough, Illuminar is playing a lower-caliber opposition, but it goes to show that here, in this level of CS, Veggie is able to blossom. Maybe, if they keep on grinding together, the roster of Illuminar can actually, potentially, break out to the top 30, and we might see some more vintage Snacks, or even Veggie taking the limelight. It'll be interesting to see in the nearby future, but here is the proper gun round from Crazy. They've invested every single penny they've got the real weapons out. Free players controlling Banana. Crazy are also having control over the apartments, but take a look at how safe Illuminar are playing. They're playing the exact same setup they had on the Pissaron by having the players on the sites. That's it.
It's a very nice setup from Illuminar here. Again, this sort of leniency to actually triple stack a B bomb site is actually a very interesting decision. We see many teams avoiding this pretty much in the later stages of the round. It's fairly common for a third player to maybe support with a couple of nades and then fall back to the A side. But Illuminar keeping a third man there quite a little bit longer than expected, however Crazy. They have realized now that the A side might be the lesser option here. The smokes will go down. Second smoke actually to be deployed by Illuminar on the flip side of things. A little bit of nade damage in there nice and early. But Innocent does need to be careful. Extending his peek out behind the coffins does do some decent damage. Flashbang will come through, allowing these players to be fully blinded. Veggie, great little shot. Gets away with 2. Toxic and Sergey will provide some trades, but it's Innocent with that MP9 up close and personal to at least make it back to a 3-on-2.
Very winnable right now for Illuminar. Flashbang. And deploy. That Molotov will stop a player like PHR moving in, but at the same time, he can make his way through the different area. Mao's good kill. Sensei backside looking for both the players. Oh, he gets the second one and the third for Sensei. The highlight of Crazy stepping up massively when needed most. And he wins his first clutch, maybe the first of many.
So good. Like you say, the one player that has been consistently stacking up the numbers for his side. Continuing to do it again here, nice and early in the game already. Beautiful little 1v3 in the after plant. Seems like we do have a little bit of an early disconnect. Hopefully Illuminar not being plagued by too many issues. But a bit of a rough start, especially as soon as Sensei takes out that full health player. You've got Innocent back at the site, struggling with a lesser weapon. Definitely an air of difficulty about it. While we do have a little pause, though, make sure you are checking out the giveaways that we do have provided at the Esports Bible on Twitter. Go and check their pinned tweet. There's plenty. You just saw the Main Gear PC advertisement. There are giveaways of gaming PCs, cash bets on Unicorn, and the entrance into the €1 million prize fund giveaway for Cups 3 and 4. So head over to ukrn.io/esports millions. But luckily, Vegi's back, so no major issue. Maybe a little bit of a restart. Might have forgotten agent skin, let's say, or something. But either way, it is crazy that do get off to a very nice round, and more so, start to already destabilize the economy of Illuminar.
Oh, Mouse. That is such a big play, but again, the problem is Mouse goes out there by his lonesome. He gets the frag, but there's no support system to help him out in that instance. But at least Snacks does pick up one player here from the apartments, but that is a decent chunky nade and banana. Innocent and Veggie, I want to play this one a bit safer now, considering they have the edge.
No utility really either on the majority of these crazy players. A smoke to mollies. It's somewhat useful, but it will be difficult here. PHR is edging his peaks, and though Demk able to take him down, did at least fire off a little bit of a shot here. Veggie will start to hear those players currently rotating through the CT spawn. Innocent, gotta be careful. Bit of a bait and switch, but Veggie able to come up strong. Finds the double. Zerg is now left in the 1v2. We'll try and make him move into CT. Actually, this could be perfect. Although Veggie, I think he's read it like a book. He is behind the support barrier. No, not this time. As Snacks, making the move. 20 seconds on the clock. There is still time if he wanted to bucket to A. Now there isn't. So he has to commit to the B side here. And Sturgis, time is ticking. Will be able to drop the smoke at least. Be able to get the bomb planted. But Snacks, he's already on the hunt. He's already taken the challenge. Will he make the jump? Yes, he will. Serg is spotted. But able to get away for now.
Serg is very difficult clutch for him right now. There's a Molotov. He's being baited out by Snacks, however. Now he peeks to try and shut down the player, but Snacks, there's one big problem for him, and that is the lack of a kit. Serg is gonna have to peek him, or no, he doesn't. Snacks is gonna stick the 10-second defuse. Oh no, Serg is... He wins the round!
Balls of steel from Sergis. 10-second defuse. I mean, would have been legendary if it actually came through Snacks there. The confidence to go for it, but crazy. They do get away with it. Second round on the board. They'll tie things up nice and early. And Illuminar feeling the necessity for a little bit of a tactical pause early into this first map. Money is gone. It will have to be a bit of an eco. Fortunately, nobody under the barrier of needing to force buy, so they don't have to take a massive investment. Players like PHR and Innocent will struggle a little bit in terms of their buy round. Will only have around that 4,400, so they can get at least a few nades in there. But Illuminar, full eco round to come. Should be crazy. Taking at least a minuscule early lead on this T side.
Yeah, at least there's the opportunity for Crazy to edge it out here early on. 3-2 could potentially be theirs as Illuminar go for the fourth spot. But as we know, there's one thing Inferno is notorious for. It's those pistols, and Snacks demonstrates us why. Crazy keeping up the pace, taking over brackets control, but like I said, they need to be incredibly careful against these pistols. They've already lost one of their own. They definitely don't want to lose more as they begin to make their way into the A. Bomb side, PHR goes down. Mouse responds with 2. There's a lot of good frags, and there's Mouse with 3. Toxic chimes in, but as we see the bombs dropped, Viggy and Mouse in a very formidable position. Toxic focused on Arch, but he's not aware of Mouse and Illuminar. That's what I'm talking about. That's the dangerous nature of these rounds. If you're going to be playing it fast and loose, those pistols they can thrive in the chaos.
So good by Illuminar, I'll let you say those pistols. As soon as you take sort of an early frag with those, teams do seem to fall apart, ensuring that their mentality taking a little bit of a dip there, and Illuminar winning a beautiful round because of it. Crazy. You can see what sort of effect that it does have on the T side. Down into a little bit of a more lackluster buy round. They have gone for the full investment. It does leave them on the pistols. Of course, getting the Kevlar and some decent utility, but the firepower just not as present as we would have liked. And, well, this might just give Illuminar a great opportunity to start to extend that early run of rounds here. A big opportunity to make it already a 5-2, but it's Demk that opens the A side. Some beautiful damage. Snax will try and go aggressive, but he'll regret that already. And, well, it's crazy. Let's turn it around completely. Sensei with the Tech 9. Bomb will go down, and it's a 5-2 in the afterplant.
Very quick bomb site take. But that's the problem. If you do have only just one player on the site itself, you're going to have a difficult time holding on to it. It's still possible to hold on for as long as possible, but you might fall very quickly. That was the case here at the A bomb site. Now, if they were to have a player in the pit position, for example, suddenly it becomes a bit harder to get that player out of the position if you don't have the Molotovs, the HE grenades. Here, Illuminar, they fall way too quickly in the bomb site. A few players try to attempt to go for some pushes through the smokes, but it does not go their way, and Crazy even things up yet again. Which, for a team like Illuminar, it doesn't necessarily spell disaster. You know what? Got a few players on some money. Something tells me to avoid the double eco scenario, forced by it is.
Yeah, fortunately, this is very nice start for Crazy, at least keeping this run of rounds somewhat successful. CT side, as you said, we'll be heading into that force buy scenario. We'll see exactly where this one is going so far, but 2 rifles in play. There is definitely an opportunity to be able to get away with some rewards here. Those pistols, again, can always provide some further damage here, but Crazy so far should be able to manage this round at least more comfortably than the previous. Again, we can't take away much from Illuminar with how good they've sort of showed to be right off the bat. But Crazy, a very much more composed run of play. They'll sit super default. They realize that Illuminar might be onto a little bit of a scrappy buy, so they don't want to give them free challenges early. You can see the first minute of the round is spent just holding very basic angles, ensuring that right now they will not be going aggressive and making sure that the site's gaps, the banana control is secure. Oof, Sensei takes a big tag of health early there. That is not a great start. Still Crazy split across the map. 40 seconds on the clock. Seems like they have decided to hedge their bets toward the A side, but they've got Snax to deal with, luckily forcing him back. But Crazy, they've got to commit fairly soon or else they'll have very minimal time.
That's the problem. If Illuminar just keep on playing this timer and Crazy don't commit to a bomb site, things could get disastrous very quickly. Snax, though, gets a little bit stuck in the retreat. Now there's the push from Crazy. They have the players moving in, but they're taking their sweet time. 10 seconds. They need to get that bomb down ASAP. They're stalling way too long here, but actually they will succeed just enough time to get that bomb down. But considering they were running into a bomb site blind, they had no idea what's on the other side. If there were, say, to speak, a stack, that's it. The round goes the way of Illuminar, but Crazy barely managed to scrape by with a round win. The remaining players of Illuminar will just, try to save those weapons.
Such a risky round there from Crazy. Very lucky to see that actually pay off here. Just able to get away with even the denial of the rifle as well there for PHR. Innocent will be left in the 1v4. Just able to ensure right now that might be able to get out with a rifle. Definitely will. Well, seems like so far so good here on the side of Crazy. Back to winning ways, back in the lead. This is where now Illuminar down to a full eco. So a chance for Crazy to make this 5-3. A single rifle in the hands of Innocent. No investment, of course. They cannot afford that. Round loss bonus is ticking over, so the next buy round will be full enough. But Crazy, at least on their first map, on their own map, getting a nice little T-side early lead.
Yeah, things are looking up here for Crazy. Though their method of approach still scares me a little bit. Living at just 20 or so seconds on the commitment. Especially in rounds like this, you have to be incredibly careful. I'm not sure if they're going to be going for a similar approach. If anything, I'd love to see them take it slow, but not too slow. That you have to find a fine balance between the two. You want to be methodical in your approach and clearing out the angles and trying to go for some of these engagements, but don't also just want to rush into a bomb site blind. Here, though, Sensi does secure the frag on Vega. This might prompt the remaining players of Crazy to just move in the B-bomb site. Demcrate now, spawning out some of the advancing forces, even takes care of Snacks. And overall, this is turning out to be a clean round for Crazy. Not losing a single player thus far is great for the economy of the T-side.
Go in as well. They are looking to at least become much more stable here. A clean finish as well, despite Toxic taking a bit of tags there at the end of things. But here we go. Illuminar will be able to again go for the buy round here. It's not as plentiful as they would like. There is no AWP in the hands of Snacks here. They do have full rifles. Decent utility, sure. No defuse kits though, so life is going to be made difficult if they do get into a post-plant situation. Crazy. Seeming like they might just be controlling Inferno much more than we might have expected at the early stage of the game here. As, again, we maybe expected a little bit more of a closer fight. Definitely can be here off of the mark, but with Illuminar so far, they are faltering under a couple of these buy rounds, and this one definitely feels the same with the way that right now they don't have too much in terms of firepower, just the M4s. But we'll see where it can go. Into the apartments, again, a bit of a slower default round from Crazy. That seems the aim of the game in these early stages of the round for this Ukrainian side. Play super default, almost like they're trying to force a mistake out of Illuminar, but with the way that the CT side are playing, as we sort of mentioned earlier, they are just super defaulted to the sites. No real aggression, no real banana control, no real anything of control, really. They are just playing from the sites themselves, so sure, it's good for the defense, but Crazy will just start to manipulate that. They'll begin to walk up close a bit earlier in the round. They'll be able to set up a much more comprehensive execution. And they'll know they can even leave it later like they are doing here, because all they've got to do is clear out the bomb sites. And Crazy, now here comes the push. 25 seconds. Flash is perfect. Snacks dead before the smoke. Sure, they return a nade, but they need a couple refrags here, and Mouse is being pressured. CSGO clearing the site, gets himself too. And that's exactly the premise. When you know your teammates are playing on the bomb sites, all you've got to do is check those important angles, and you get away with the victory.
And that's the thing as well. Crazy, you know, they're being rewarded this map control. Illuminar, they're not even fighting for it. When was the last time I actually saw the players of Illuminar just fight for some brackets control, or not just even fight for it, just hold it, because that's one of the advantages you have as the CT. I'm not even talking about banana. We didn't even get to see any sort of banana aggression thus far throughout the entirety of the first half from Illuminar. And so this static setup, I mean, it really relies on your individuals hitting their shots. And right now, the problem with the A bombs could potentially be the maybe a little miscommunication at times between the players there. You know, we saw Mouse constantly looking up there, expecting some of the players coming in, but PHR should have very easily just given him the information if there were any players pushing up. That's when Mouse should look up. And so this communication is plaguing the side of Illuminar and that A-bomb side. But the second thing is that they're not changing things up. They're playing the same way they've been playing throughout the entirety of this first half, and they need to change something.
Yeah, it's going to come down to, like you say, just deviating from the initial plan. I mean, in an eco stack like this, I would have loved to have seen some faster banana plays. They do get rewarded with a first kill. CSGO is dead as well. Mao's great pick. Do lose out on the luxury of the M4A1S, though. Not be retrieved as of yet, but look at Snacks. This is what we want to see. This is the aggression, the info plays that we want to see from this side. PHR, however, loses the A-bomb site. So this mid flank is pretty much useless here, as already the site control has been taken over by Crazy. And with the weapons that Illuminar are wielding at the moment, definitely not enough damage to be able to get away with a round here. There's even a Zeus in the hands of Snacks, and sure, they've got a Deagle posted, but against the AKs, against the AWP, it will be Crazy closing out the eco round. A couple of casualties, sure, but at least it does keep Crazy's rounds ticking. I mean, Illuminar, they've got an M4A1S at the bottom of Bananas. You may as well go and retrieve that, and I think that is exactly what Innocent might just be doing here. But you can't take away from the fact that, well, Toxic gets away with at least a frag. Snacks will return it. But 7 and 3, T-side is really starting to rack up the numbers early.
I mean, early on, at least it was somewhat of a back and forth endeavor. Illuminar won the pistol, then you saw them win the subsequent round, and as well as one of the force buys went their way. But we're yet to see a gun round being picked up by Illuminar. That's a little bit scary, not to mention the fact that, yeah, Crazy, they're running away with this first half. Not much of a response from Illuminar thus far. Interestingly enough, also no one picking up the sniper rifle here on the CD side of Illuminar. Oh, there we go, bit of a change of pace. Snacks, he'll take matters into his own hands, pushing up middle with the AK-47. Again, however, he does not have anyone to back him up. If he gets the one kill, that's great, but he ends up dying without dishing out too much damage. That's not the start for Illuminar.
Like you say, it's so isolated, it's so solo here from Illuminar. They are going to play some sort of mid aggro push. You at least need a secondary player to back, or not even to back up, but more so just to either jiggle peek top mid or sit in an off angle, play second mid perhaps. Just give them that little bit of extra sight and vision and info, because right now, yeah, they're losing players so quickly. They're essentially just handing Crazy free advantages, free map control. You can see they will start to, again, take over the apartments, but still keep the majority of their players down inside of middle. That is how comfortable Crazy currently are right now. Smokes over toward the A side, and you can see there is, sure, a little bit of a long presence there, but it's only Veggie playing from library. More so, they are just stacking the sites again, and that is something that Crazy keep on reading, although this time, very nice nade. Demka taken out of the situation. And with 25 seconds on the clock, it might be in Crazy's best interest to either commit to the site now or try and hedge or rotate. Well, there's no time for that, so it is the A side on its way for attack.
Illuminar have noticed the tendencies. They have all 4 players here to try and stop the incoming push. This should be so good for Illuminar, and there's a lot of trade frags going on eventually. It's an Illuminar victory, but you have to admit, considering they had 4 players on the A-bomb side, that should have been an easy round for them to win. Comes down to the clutch. I mean, Innocent does have the superior position to win the 1v1. But again, Illuminar, that's not a winning formula to play it into the round and go on for a stack of the A-bomb side. You're going to have to show off some more consistency. But I like to see that, you know, in this round we saw some banana presence coming in, some brackets control from Illuminar. I want to see some more of it.
Hopefully we can, yeah. Illuminar seem to finally realize there might be a little bit more of an option. Demk, though. Whew. Snacks just gets absolutely deleted. And you can see with Illuminar, the one thing that we stress so much about a CT side is that you cannot afford to first win yourselves around. Maybe it's a little bit expensive. It's very expensive for Illuminar as they lost 4 players. Go for a rebuy and then lose the round following. That is not something that a CT side can afford to do here. And, well, if Crazy do take back victory here in this one, they will be starting to push themselves right the way toward 9-10 rounds on this T side. And that is not something Illuminar will want to play against. With 55 seconds... seems like, again, it's more so toward the A side, but great to see that Crazy are starting to put pressure on these angles early. It feels much safer than, well, committing at 13 seconds, but Sergis, he starts to confuse the side. It's a CT split here. Innocent, though, does get the trade, but does he expect the second man? I don't think he does. And Demk able to respond, make it 2 as PHR misses the shot. B-bomb site open, and another round for Crazy that might just reset Illuminar.
Oh, that's quite the satisfying there for a team like Crazy. As they had the players going for some banana control, they leave the one guy behind car. But the problem is in that position that you are very vulnerable. Once you're spotted out, that's it. You're basically gone in that position. So holding on to banana by your lonesome is so difficult. More often than not, how it is that you jump spot over the wall, you see, okay, there's players coming in, now I'm going to back away. But trying to hold banana yourself, if you end up dying so quickly, suddenly the B-bomb set becomes open. But in this case, the big problem was the incoming split from Crazy. Even though I thought the individuals from Illuminar should be able to deal with it, I mean, when you look at it, they had a player in the library and in the spawn itself. It looked like the most prominent crossfire you could have in that situation to eliminate the incoming push, but player in library smoked off. Then you have who was it? I think it was Veggie that ended up dying, and then PHR tries to swing out through the smoke with an op. Very ballsy maneuver, and well, he ends up dying because of it. And Crazy keeping up their run of form. Illuminar, I mean, it's basically the same storyline that has been plaguing them in yesterday's CT halves as well as this one here. They win the one round. That's great and all, but they just can't get consecutive rounds on the board.
This one is starting to really take a turn of pace now. Illuminar, 3 rounds left in this first half. They will be looking to maybe try and luck their way through a pistol buy, let's say. There gets some nice damage done early. Some HE grenades tagging him up. They do have to be very careful here, Crazy. Putting some pressure down onto the B bomb site, something they haven't particularly done in the rifle rounds, really. It's been more toward the A side. But they have got to be careful with their approach. And, well, speaking of the A side, it seems like they are going to deviate back to the original plan. Top mid control taken. Apartments cleared out at least. And, yeah, it seems like Illuminar will be again facing another A-sided attack. 45 seconds. Crazy at least giving themselves plenty of time. But they have to be incredibly cautious with approaching a bomb site like the A side with such a pistol play. And speaking of Maus, there we go. Gets away with one, but now it's time for the apartment's pin. So they've got 20 seconds. Here comes the attack.
PHR as well. Oh, tries to hold on for as long as he can, but he dies. Steven in the pit does as well, and even though the individuals are really low on HP on the side of Crazy, there's no way in the world Illuminar can win this one. Would have to take really good shots from Veggie and Snacks, not to mention some sort of failed setup from Crazy, but as we can see, that will not be the case. Another round will go their way. Is now they'll be sitting comfortably on 9 on the T side of Inferno. Illuminar, they have one more opportunity to try and get themselves the round in this upcoming round. They'll have just enough money to invest, but if they fail here, again, it's back on some shoddy pistols. So Illuminar, maybe even take the time out in this instance. I don't really know what would be the best way to approach this scenario.
Beautiful. Illuminar will be going into pretty much what will be their final buy round if they do lose out on this next round. Great time to take a tactical pause as well. Just give them a little bit of a break. Chill out here before the, well, calm before the storm, let's say. PHR not particularly having too much of a good game either. 2 frags on the board. Bit of a rough one here so far, especially when sure you've got players like Maus and Veggie turning up to the occasion. But if you look at the air of consistency, it definitely lies with Crazy. 12 and 12, 10 on there as well. Nobody really having a bad game on the T side at the moment, whereas you do have sort of 2 or 3 players definitely slacking on the kill department for Illuminar. And, well, double AWP. Maybe that's the changer. Maybe that's the switch up they need. 2 snipers on the field. We'll see what they are capable of doing, but it is Illuminar that really need to step up to the plate if they do wish to even survive in this first map, really. Never mind the CT side alone. Innocent, there we go. Double AWP, it seems to change the play.
Yeah, things going their way. Snacks managing to find a kill, and so does Innocent. There's a good chance for Illuminar to get themselves the round win. Here, if they do get it, there's the potential to get all 6. We'll see though. Bracket's control being taken over by the 2 players of Crazy, forcing Snacks to play this one a bit more safe. Doesn't look like eventually the A side will just be their final destination. It's interesting though that throughout the entirety here, the first half, Crazy have just been consistently hitting the A bomb side. Toxic does go down to the nade of Mouse. And once you have these 2 players in the pit, it is such a powerful position to hold. It doesn't look like they'll be able to eliminate them quickly enough. In fact, not at all. Mouse gets another one, and Sergius should be going down any moment now. He goes for a very ballsy play by hiding in the smoke, but he also dies. So 5-9 it is, and Illuminar. For the first time ever, I like to say, it was such a convincing victory.
Very nice. Finally. Yeah, turning it around, giving us something to be able to commend them on. As Illuminar now into the final round of the first half, they at least have the chance to make this 9-6, prevent double digits being attained by Crazy. Economy, of course, no longer an issue for either side going into the final round. Whoa, some great early nade damage though. Toxic, Sergius, all taking tags, even Sergius ever lower. That's what you want to see from Illuminar. Innocent and Veggie, though, do take a chunk of damage each. Snacks, however, able to bring the first kill to the field. This is where Illuminar seem to have finally settled down. They realized that they needed some form of more stable way to fend off these Crazy players. And what's more stable than 2 AWPs, one either side of the map? They seem to have finally worked out how to take out Crazy. They've got a triple B-sided stack on the final round. This is where Crazy is setting up their offense. And it seems like Illuminar, right at the sort of worst point, actually start to look good here, right at the end of the first half.
Ooh, Veggie out in the open does go down to Psycho. Here's the incoming push. PHR, though, is visible. Very easily spot out by Psycho. That will be a bomb plan here for Crazy. A bomb set that has fallen. Ooh, nice shot from Innocent, though. Good tag with AWP, but it will be difficult. Look at Mouse. He's still lingering on the A-bomb set, expecting some sort of big flank to come in. But as we can see, 2 players alive here. Illuminar have an incredibly difficult retake. Gonna go for this one, absolutely, but the chances of winning it are incredibly slim. They're both coming from the same position as well, and they got just the right setup to counter the incoming push, and it will be 10 rounds for Crazy. 10 rounds in the T-side Inferno, that's a lot.
Very confident performance by Crazy. Just showing that, again, Illuminar might be lacking that sort of firepower and consistency and fluidity that we've spoke about. The way that they lost that Tiki-Taken series yesterday, it's starting to pretty much emulate exactly the same run of play. It's another opponent of Illuminar's here in this Swiss stage that is getting many T-side rounds against them here, and that cannot be good for the overall longevity of this team in the Swiss bracket. And I mean, you compare the way that they played in 9-5 Cup 1, they of course did get knocked out in the 9-12 position, but they at least made it sort of into the later stages of the bracket itself. They got into the playoffs. They were defeated by Simon, who, well, did get slammed by Gambit Youngsters, but I think everybody who played Gambit Youngsters did. But you look at the comparative performance of Illuminar here, and it's nothing similar here. What is this? Demp straight down Banana. Psycho pincering him well. Crazy. Oh, they are living up to expectations here. We question their performance, but it seems like they've at least done their homework for Inferno.
Oh, 11 rounds now being picked up. Unbelievable. Crazy win the pistol, and now the victory looking solid for them. But doesn't mean that Illuminar are out of the race just yet. They've got a chance, even though they may not have the Bugatti of the world to try and compete in a round victory. Still got the old reliable to try and win a victory here. The pistols around, armor as well as a decent amount of utility to try and make this one work. It looks like the old reliable is a straight up rush on the B bomb site. Nice damage coming in, but Veggie gets the kill on one, and Psycho needs to hold the line from the first he gets, looking for more, the second but not the third. Demk responds, however, and Sensei chimes in, but Illuminar have the site.
Lace can get that bomb down. It's going to be a bit of a tougher time here to be able to hold the site. Both of the players do have Kevlar, though, so this is a very opportune round for Illuminar. HE grenade on Demp. Would love to see that deployed here as they now realize exactly where PHR is. Very nice nade to do some solid damage, leaving him at 25 health here. They'll isolate the first. They'll shut off the second. Crazy. They make it expensive, but they do get away with the round there. Illuminar, great idea on the force buy. And with a next bomb plant here and some decent damage with the kill bonus, they should be rebuying AKs up in this round. They might just do exactly that. It's a fairly common strategy in this economy state that we are currently in. Or they can take a simple pistol eco, go down into the next round for a full buy. Seems like that will not be the case, though. Here come the AKs, the Galils. Here comes a rifle investment.
Yeah, the rifles are out. And it makes sense, especially because the previous one, you get a bomb plant, you eliminate a few players. I got a good chance in winning this round, but I wonder if Crazy will be aware of a similar push taking place. I mean, you can still see some of the players are just, firing off their Glocks, emanating that, yeah, it's an eco, definitely an eco. All part of a very elaborate ruse. Ooh, Demk getting as close as possible. Now they should be aware of the weaponry of the opposition. Oh, but they're just peeking out so dry, and it's so easy for Crazy to rack up these kills. PHR, though, nasty surprise with the banana push. Mouse, however, eliminates Sensei, but he's not aware of Toxic on the side itself, and it will be 13 for Crazy.
Seems like they're unstoppable on the road to victory here. 13 attained. Here comes the full eco now for Illuminar. That rifle round like it never even took place. Well, could be again a very simple round for Crazy. Putting them up to 14 and 5 seems like the likely outcome here. Over. Very good run of play here for Crazy. And well, second mid control is looking to be played, but it's already Demp tapping away at the first. At least able to start to chime in with some damage. A couple tags in there, but it's not going to translate into a kill whatsoever. It should be a relatively clean round here for Crazy. 13 turns to 14. And another step on the road to a very swift victory here in map number 1.
Yeah, 14 to 5, looking incredibly solid here for a team like Crazy, but today they were in a similar position. A massive lead being accumulated, it feels like, yeah, just a few rounds will go their way and that's it. But seeing Crazy falter in situations like this, maybe on a map like Inferno, it should not take place, but we'll see. Illuminar, there we go. They've got a real investment heading into round number 20. The rifle is the utility, even an AWP in the hands of Snacks. Ooh, Crazy, what is that? Look at that, look at his positioning. He finds Veggie. He cannot retreat, however, so that goes in for the push. Psycho, however, both the players line up. But all in all, the trade frags are looking good for Crazy. They have the man advantage, even though it's just by that one measly player.
Nade avoided by Snacks at least, and well, is able to take out Zerg. His bomb does need to be collected, although they are able to do that here. Although, look at the way right now that Toxic is actually positioned. He can come for a very quick banana flank. They will not expect this in the slightest here. Snacks, though, gets himself a very good angle there as well. Goes for the peek and kills off Toxic too. Illuminar save themselves in a 2 versus 3. Getting their first round on the T side. And finally, putting a barrier up to deny Crazy of that overtime security.
Yeah, and what a way as well. When it looked like all hope is lost, They somehow managed to come out on top here. Illuminar snacks out of nowhere, decides to take matters into his own hands and gets himself 4. Crazy though. Back at the purchase, straight up. EWP in the hands of Sensei. Ooh, Innocent losing a lot of HP right now. That's the thing as well. If you were able to combine that Molotov and the HE grenade, it can be super effective, because once the HE lands, it actually forces the player to slow down a little bit. And if you're in the flames, well, I'm sorry, bud, but you're probably going to be going down. Here, though, exchange of utility, exchange of bullets as well. Something we didn't really get to see too often from a team like Illuminar when it came down to banana control.
Crazy, just giving them a little bit of a masterclass on how to play Inferno here. Toxic peeks out of balcony, baits the HR into the peak, although Sensei. Oh, Sensei. Maybe he's not such a Sensei there with the game sense. Turns around at just the wrong time. Damage done, but luckily gets out with his life. AWP doesn't need full health to be successful, so we'll be able to take away with the AWP. But I mean, 5-on-3, pushing into the B bomb site with a couple of players tagged is definitely going to make your life difficult. That smoke down will provide such an inconvenience here. We'll be fading at around the 17-second mark or so, 16 at the most, so it will take them a few extra seconds there to start working into the site. But now with their vision clear, go for the push, although there's the tags. PHR taking out 1, but time is already gone, I believe, and well, unfortunately it is. No matter what they do now, Crazy have guaranteed 15.
I love the play as well at the back of site. With just so little time remaining, you know, some players will consider, you know what, I'm just going to go for the straight up engagement and try to kill the player. But instead, you know, player backside, he plays it safe, tries to wait it out for as long as possible, peeks out, and just at the very end, when he knows that he's out of options, that's when he swings out for the kill. And of course, the engagement takes extra time. Then the player, once he gets the kill, has to switch out for the bomb, and he also manages to win the round there for Crazy. Illuminar. This seems to be quite the dissatisfying end here on Inferno. It was all looking oh so well in the early days. Convincing pistol, a few rounds as well. But from there on out, it has been the Crazy show. Toxic, making sure PHR goes down. And Crazy now can just play this one safe. If Illuminar will keep on pushing one by one, they got a substantial edge here. The weapons are there, as well as the utility for a team like Crazy.
Great little early entry already. The way that right now they are very much already starting to, well, shunt Illuminar out of this map. It seems like we'll be taking a very quick departure onto Train here and really starting to ask a lot of questions of Illuminar. Seems like the overall effect of playing with that, like you say, open door 5th rotation spot is really having a tough time on them right now. A 5-on-2 already. And I mean, we definitely can't judge this Illuminar version as we did with the previous one, who did have Reitz as that solid player and had that sort of full 5th and confirmed roster, because right now we can tell they're going through difficulties, but to lose a map as heavy as this, it's never a good sign.
No, it really isn't. And in such a manner as well. Quite the satisfying stuff that he ended up losing in such a convincing manner here. But great job here by Crazy, managing to take the win 16-6. This means that our second map will be Illuminar's map pick and an opportunity for them to bounce back. To see that happen though, folks, be sure to tune in the broadcast as we do head on over to a very quick commercial break.
Initialize booting. These are your targets. You must find, capture and control.
map, but they're playing against a side that's really got the one up on them here in the series already.
That's true, and the thing about this map of Train, even though Illuminar have a great track record on it, one thing that kind of does, at least that's something that works out for a team like Crazy, is that they're no slouches on a map like Train. They've played a lot of it, in fact. It's just that their most recent results have not really gone their way, but here and there you'll find moments of brilliance, a victory against AGF, a victory against a team like Honoris. But even so, Illuminar, that's the thing. This is by far the best map they have. A lot of times we'll try to go for something like a Vertigo pick to try and punish some of the lesser teams here, but here on a map like Train, where they have a great track record on, they should be able to win against Crazy, but we'll see if that's the case. Early on, it's a commitment on the A-bomb site, and it's simply not going their way. Demk Psycho securing the first few kills, and Illuminar, finally the response from PHR.
Ooh, good info spotted by Toxic as still. There is a couple extra tags on the way. Snacks still trying to force his hand through the bomb site here and see if he can get away with a freebie, but no. That's the bomb down as well here. That could not be worse. CR4ZY comes in to trade it. Toxic finishes the job, and Crazy, just like that, they get away with a very clean pistol round. First on the board. And Illuminar, I hope, for the sort of sake of their sanity, that they don't revert back to how they played on Inferno.
There we go. Crazy kicking things off the right way, so to speak. The 1-0 start. That's what they're looking for, especially here on the city side of all places. But a little bit dissatisfying for a squad like Illuminar that now they're on the T side. They're again on the harder side on a map like Train, and they're also on the side in which they seem to struggle acquiring rounds. Let's see though. Performance by is there. Snacks with Deagle, always a dangerous adversary. He's gonna click on your head. Chances are you're gonna be a goner. But as we do see things, he'll slow down quite a bit here. Snack's gonna go in for the peak. So many players being spotted out, but there's the kill from Psycho. Demk sees the player in team main. He's gonna have someone to help him out, but Beggy will use this to his advantage. But as we do see, the Illuminar players are slowly but surely falling apart.
Decent damage in there, but nothing in terms of kills from Illuminar. This force buy round should be relatively simply handled here. Psycho, beautiful flashbang, both players blinded. PHR does get away with at least a frag, but it was only an MP9, of course, and Crazy off to a solid 2-0 beginning. Should be 3 on the board. Seeming, like you say, to, of course, have a great understanding of a map like Train with their track record. It's a very competitive map for Crazy to be playing in this sort of series. Again, with sort of 16 maps played, it's pretty much in between their most played maps of Inferno and Mirage, just sort of sandwiched in there. So, again, it's a very open-ended book here, and good support by Toxic, able to spray down 3. Eco round going as to be expected. And Crazy getting off to a 3-0 start here on the second map of the series.
Whoa, whoa, Toxic evading the Glock. And most importantly, getting his life intact. And overall, a clean round here from Crazy. The end of losing just the one player. It's not that bad, I'd say. But for Illuminar, forget the pistol round. Forget the last few rounds ever occurred. It's time to get things going on a fresh start. The gun round is here, and AWP has been purchased here for Snacks. The other players, AK-47s, a lot of utility as well, and of course Snacks, he's got just enough to spawn to try and go for the early engagements from T-Con. Push out here, look for the early frag. Flash is nigh. Oh, there's one from the opponent's side. He does evade the flashbang, as well as the smoke here, but actually Snacks is gonna pop out, and so do his teammates from Pop Dog.
Oh, Sensei ripping them apart with the AWP. Making it at least back to a 3-on-3. The fact that Demk does have a FAMAS aim for CR4ZY is a little bit of a scary prospect, but maybe not for Crazy, as still they are able to output the damage. Demk's down to 30 still. Toxic, the only player on full health here on the CT side. The bomb is down. So far, not retrievable by the T side as of yet. And with just a single flashbang Not even like they can force out the positions of Crazy. But Innocent, I like the idea. On his way around the back lines of the CT spawn, but this is something that Demk fully aware of. Angle might just avoid him though, but no, it's down to a 1v1. As Snacks moving in and around the same location, has to go for the bomb, but chooses to elect the peek instead, and Snacks trusts in his AWP and wins the round for Illuminar.
Oh, this is unbelievable stuff here. Snacks steps up when he's needed most, wins an impeccable clutch here for Illuminar. Maybe this will help them kickstart their road to victory. As now, Crazy, they reinvest, of course. It's their modus operandi. It's just that the investment itself isn't looking that great. SMG, FAMAS, good to see AWP in the hands of Sensei. But the other players, let's see what they're going to go for. Demk, early control here in Pop Dog, making sure that the same scenario does not repeat like last time. Because that hit on the A-bomb side by having players through Pop Dog and Team Main, pretty successful. Pretty successful commitment there for their side. And well, there's incoming push for Ivy. Bit of a boost, but not getting any information.
So far, so good. Ooh, great tag. HE grenade launched down Ivy. Some very good damage inflicted. Crazy. Seeming like they do have a great understanding of the CT side. CSGO uses the tracers, spots the bullets through the smoke, gets away with the kill. Psycho, confident enough to go and sit up close and personal here by the main peak. Ooh, Snacks. Oh, doesn't get spotted. Timing might just be the worst, although... Oh, catches Demp going into heaven. That's a great little refrag. Closes out one of the positions of the Crazy defense. Psycho still sat safe and has support here out of Serg. Is a flank on the way, but it's still a 4-on-4. Time is running out, though. You do need to go for a little bit of a commitment, and well, they'll take out 2. 4 versus 2 on the retake should be enough for Crazy.
Oh, absolutely so. With that bomb being planted, Snacks will not be in a prime position to step up. But we'll see. There's the flashbang being deployed. They still have a few more flashbangs, honestly, and they have a kit, so this would absolutely be their round to take. Mouse chimes in with nothing. It'll go down. So Crazy will pick up the round. 4-1. Making sure that Illuminar do not get any consecutive rounds on the board, which has been a thing that has been troubling them quite a bit so far. Looks like the same star line continues here on Train as well. At least with the bomb plan, they have enough money, kinda, but probably no. I would presume here you're just going to go for the partial investment. Yeah, get those pistols, get those armors, and even some utility if possible. But after this round is over, whether you get a bomb plant or not, you will have just enough money to invest. So I understand it. Play for the long game if you're Illuminar.
100%, yeah. I think the fact that we didn't see too much out of Crazy CT side either. I mean, they finished, what, 10-5 at the end of the first half. So we only get to see 6 rounds, not even close to a full 15 there of Crazy. So we don't know how they're going to be performing. So Illuminar, like you say, play for a bit more of the longevity here in the series and in the map itself. They have got to be very, very careful here. This is a beautifully read round by Crazy. Triple stack on the B bomb site. Flashes are good, but Crazy are better. A clean round so far, and they don't even lose a single player. Maximum of 40, 50 health being depleted there. It's 5-1 for Crazy. Illuminar's full buy will come, but they've got to start converting rounds. Remember, this is the map pick of Illuminar.
Yeah, it is going to be the map pick here of Illuminar, and you're expecting them to perform on their map pick. They're having a few bumps right now on the road, but let's see how they keep on playing here, moving forward. No EWP in the hands of Snacks, though. That's a little bit dissatisfying for my taste. Love to see that big green being picked up, but now Toxic going for the aggressive play here. Mal should be aware of it, but no. That's the opener for Toxic, and that's also one of the great things here being displayed by Crazy time and time again. their aggressive capability on the CT side, something we didn't get to see too much from Illuminar's hand.
Seems like crazy right now, just have every step of the way covered this time. Good return by Snacks. Ooh, flashbang was good. Psycho, I believe he did spot out the player close to train, so that will be Snacks there already. A little bit of a tough spot, but look where the bomb is here. Both players, both sides are being pincered in, but nobody has the bomb. And as they start to realize this, Psycho loses, or takes, Veggie out of the battle. Innocent now finally realizes, hold on a second, the bomb is in showers. I don't know what Illuminar are doing, but they're not switched on at all here.
Oh, this is not looking good whatsoever. They're looking maybe disjointed would be the right word. Innocent. Crab being picked up. Bomb has been dropped, but it will be retrieved. However, as it does make its way in the B-bomb site, it's going to be pretty obvious what's taking place. Smoke deployed. 20 seconds remaining. He's going for the commitment here on the side itself. Demk is just making sure that he actually spots out the player. Really smart play from Dem. He could very easily just go on for the engagement, but instead he just wants to spot out the player, gather the information, and even right now, very sick stuff there from Demk, and even secures the final frag. Ooh, careful there, buddy.
Yeah, didn't want him to do a completely kamikaze up the side there, but thankfully will not be the case. Crazy. Very confident round again. Illuminar, that is such a mistake from them. I mean, the fact that bomb gets left. And you could see the motive of the A side. They were looking to play a little bit of a fake. No matter which bomb site it was, they wanted to try and draft a little bit of the attention away from one of the sites. But as soon as they realized that, hold on a second, bomb is completely other side of the map. Illuminar, yeah, disjointed, a great word to apply here, and crazy. They'll continue the round score, 6-1. All reinvestment to come from Illuminar. Oof, spotted out the first player though. Seems like crazy. No matter what here, they're already inflicting mad damage. It snacks down to low. The nade will do the trick. And this is so good from Crazy. They are looking very good here. Just confident at the moment. No matter what's going on, they seem to have control of every situation.
Oh, and there we go. We can have a two-man push right now, but Sergis doesn't spring into action quickly enough. The potential could have been there to have a 3v2 at the very least, but now, free on free. Still good here for the T side in the sense that they can contest this round, as difficult as it may be. Where shall they go, however? They have a few players in the A-bomb side, and the third man will try and join them. But look how safe the players are playing. Crazy don't even want to give away anything for free.
The fact that they've got an AWP sort of scoping down lanes as well just ensures that no matter what, they at least spot out some sort of information. 40 seconds on the clock. Illuminar just, again, holding, seeing if they can force a mistake out of Crazy, but those have been few and far between so far in the series. Just 25 on the clock. They've got some height advantage with Innocent. They've got Ivy control, or at least they think they do, with Sergis sat back waiting. He will now go for a little bit of a swing. There's the kill that he needs, because look at this. PHR is still alive and still on 1 point of health. So that refrag, it's as easy as it comes. Toxic even has a HE grenade if necessary. But look at the way that Crazy are moving in, completely avoiding the encounters. They get away with a round, 7-1. It's another bomb plant. It's another expensive round for Crazy. They do lose 3 players. They keep on racking up the scoreline, 7-1 already.
But even here, nice attempt from the Polar squad. In this free-on-free, they managed to take over the A-bomb side. It's just that from there on out, holding on to the side itself, and you don't have the HP advantage, isn't that great. It means you're going to have to take some more audacious angles. You're going to have to take some off angles, like playing on top of the train. You should be good at least for the one frag, but if you have someone coming in from T-main, for example, or Pop Dog for that matter, you become an easy target. And the players of Illuminar, they knew that if they do not secure the frags quickly enough, they're going to fall flat on their faces and lose yet another round. This is where things are getting a little bit more dicey. 7-1 is the current scoreline. We expect to see the CTs picking up the majority of the rounds on CT side train, right? But Illuminar, Thus far, some of the rounds have been somewhat close in the sense they get on the bomb sides, but even then you feel like, right, Crazy, they're in a prime position to go for this retake. Crazy are looking good to win this one. I'd say if they fail in this round, a timeout has to take place.
I feel so too, yeah. With the way that it is going right now. Oh, Psycho.
How?
You are lucky to be alive there. The fact that he gets out of that one, 6 points of health, is a bit of a treacherous run for him, but still alive and kicking for now. Very nice off angle taken by Death, but the timing could not be worse there. CSGO able to capitalize on the trade. They spot out a player at Electric as well. They at least have some solid info, but finally Illuminar. The one thing they've not been able to do is win those aim duels. Finally they do, and that's where they close out the round. Toxic, last man alive here. They've given Snacks a free AWP as well. That should be a second round on the board. Finally, Crazy, they're being diminished in their economy, and where Illuminar, they will uprise in the round. Second on the board, it's nothing major. They do need to get consistent, of course, with the scoreline being so one-sided already, but it at least shows signs of life and shows signs that Illuminar completely haven't fallen off the edge yet.
Oh no, they haven't. And especially with Snacks still stepping up here. We didn't really get to see him rack up, some sort of ace or a 4K in this round, but he just found some amazing timing to push out and get himself those 2 kills with the AK-47s. You can even see from the POV of the Crazy players, they did not expect the Snacks commitment so quickly. And Illuminar, thanks to some heroics from Snacks, managed to secure another round on the board. It's not much though, still just the 2. The bare minimum you're looking for something like 5 or 6. And that's the problem, on a more even map like Inferno. What, they got only the 5 rounds, correct?
Yeah.
And so they only get less than 5. Oh boy, gonna be a bit of a difficult run for Illuminar, but let's not contemplate about the ins and outs of what could be and what could not be. Let's see this round, and early on we do see again Toxic with the aggression. This is something that Illuminar are now getting attuned to, as now you can see that no one was playing close by the smoke grenade. In fact, they were playing right behind the railing, trying to spot out a player like Toxic.
Good to see that Illuminar are slowly realizing exactly what Crazy are doing with the aggression. But again, if they can't counter it, if they can't get away with some sort of punishment there of shutting down the situation, it is going to allow Crazy to maybe get lucky the next round or work out the setup in the upcoming gun rounds here. And Psycho edges a little bit of a peek. Will expect the push through the smoke, but not able to counter it this time. And that seems just the way to be able to try and force their hand here, Illuminar. Just go a little bit more aggro, turn up the pace a little bit. They were so sort of hyper defensive, even on Inferno as well. They looked exactly the same. And well, CSGO caught out too many players, overwhelmed there as Demk able to return a frag. And a 4-on-3, barrels spotted. No. Oh, there we go. Do get away with the kills. Toxic down into the 1v4. And it will be Illuminar that finally get themselves some consecutive rounds here.
Finally, there we go. This is one of the qualities they lacked on a map like Inferno. In fact, we can look back a little bit further in the whole best of 3 against Tiki Taka, and it's just getting consecutive rounds in. Now, finally, a third one goes their way. They are yet to break the economy of Crazy, though they have just a little bit more money in the bank to go for the purchase in the upcoming round, but they're getting there, Slowly but surely, the players of Illuminar are getting in a position where they would put Crazy in an awkward economical state. They might have to go for a bit of an eco, but in this round, doubt it. I think if you're a team like Crazy, you're going to have Toxic. Actually, you know what? Maybe it is going to be that eco. Look, they're just dropping out the pistols right now, and they're not going to be going for the force bus. So there we go, Illuminar, you've done it. You got yourself a great chance to minimize the scoreline difference.
They can't let go of this opportunity now. The fact that they can make 3 rounds in a row, but more so, like you say, start to finally break the curve and break the cycle. This could be a real solid way back into train for them. And they'll even take themselves a bit of a tactical timeout here to discuss that. Maybe realizing that Crazy might not be too sort of sure in their own purchase, so we'll just take a second and maybe accommodate for a pistol buy or work out whether it will be a rifle investment. Of course, the coach should be doing the math and at least keeping up with the economy side of things. But crazy, like you say, not taking the risk of the investment. So down to pistols would be a shame to win a round like this or to lose a round like this here for Illuminar. Especially playing against this sort of pistol play, although never take away from a good bit of Ivy control. They've got a flashbang ready here from Sensei. Will be thrown down towards Ivy. Probably should let go of it right about now if they do want to get away with some damage. And well, that is exactly the case. Veggie, though, the one player that we need to step up here on the side of Illuminar, does exactly that. Clears out Ivy, already makes it a 4-on-2, and pretty much guarantees the round for Illuminar. So 3 in a row. Confidence is restored. They don't look as shaky now here.
Ooh, snacks though. Trying to go for some push here with his teammates with AWP. They will take over the B-bomb side. I mean, they know there's only one player to face, so even if he is on this B-bomb side, they can just slowly walk their way into the side itself. But Psycho could be in for a bit of a surprise. Ooh. There we go. His head is blown off clean, and that would be Illuminar securing the 4th round here in T-side train. Things are really looking up here for the Polish side, I must admit. You know, just a few rounds prior, you're thinking, wow, you know, Illuminar just hitting on the bomb sites. That's great and all, but they're not converting the round wins. Finally, they're in a position to get those conversions. It's a 7-4 scoreline, and the potential is there to not only get the minimum of 5, but maybe even a few more. And from there on out, they're going to have a great opportunity to get themselves the win. PHR, though, going for the early aggression here. There's the flashbangs, there's the smoke grenades, but Demk is on the other side, and Demk comes out on top.
Angle still works out for him as well. A little bit of a HE tag, but he's still alive and kicking. Toxic might be realizing here that it is a little bit more of a B push. Does have the support of Psycho, but timing could not be worse there. Bomb is going to be planted, denied by Psycho, but still. Raids returned by Illuminar. Now Veggie posting himself up close and personal. This should be a readable situation for Crazy, but it all depends on the timing. They've not even contemplated that Veggie could be sat in this sort of angle. They start to advance their push on toward the back of the site. Oh, Veggie. He didn't spot either of them there. This could be heartbreaking here, but Mouse loses his life. Now Veggie spotted, but spray cannot be converted. Illuminar looking great now on this T side. 4 rounds in a row, and again, further diminishing the economy of Crazy.
Oh, wow. This is turning out to be an interesting run of form here from Illuminar out of the blue. Down 7-1. When their morale is at its lowest. They finally found a way to bounce back in this one, and this being a 7-5, I mean, look at the investment from Crazy. You can barely call it that. That's the opportunity Illuminar needs. That's their chance to fight back and to get back in this matchup. 6 rounds on the table.
Would be a great way back into the game itself. Full eco, of course, not providing much here on the side of Crazy. Couple of kills come through, actually. Some very good damage. Psycho. Oh, please. No, oh, it's gonna happen. No, it's gonna happen. It's Crazy. Of course. Of course, the one round they win to break the momentum has to be an eco round. That's just CS these days.
Oh, that's just so frustrating as well. Considering Illuminar looking incredibly solid, I give them so much praise, and of all the rounds they lose, that'd be just the one. The slim eco. Oh, I do like this though from Illuminar, taking the instant time. They know they screwed up. They know they messed up. So they need to get back into this game. Get a fresh start in this one. Get their heads back in this one. Because after losing a round like that, a lot of teams, you know, they say, you know what, let's keep on playing, let's just keep on going this, and then suddenly they'll lose 5, 6 rounds in a row because they weren't able to mentally reset from such a big loss. And Illuminar will make sure that does not occur.
I'm glad they at least know when to take the appropriate timeouts here. They realize that, yeah, that was not a situation that you really should be giving up there. Well, it does keep Crazy's sort of dream alive of making it to double digits with the way that this one is going. Fortunately for Illuminar, they do have the economy stacked to be able to ensure their safety through to the last round of the first half as well, so it's not going to be a major issue to fund a rebuy. On the other hand, for Crazy, it definitely is, though. Illuminar take victory here. There's a great chance of making at least an 8 to 7. Sensei, wow. He had just about a shoulder to work with at most there. But pins PHR down. Great damage done to Toxic, though. Will at least slow down the fight on this B side. Interesting that Crazy still haven't rotated a second player out toward this out toward this B side. They might do now with Psycho so aggressively posted. But look at the amount of info that he's about to work out here. Snacks is going to be heard as he lines the molly. That's the bomb down right now, and they realize that any push toward the B site, it's not going to be an attack. The bomb is down.
Oh no, they're still committing on the B bomb site though. This is so awkward. Toxic, they're here on the side itself, and well, he might just be the only player that's necessary to win this round for Crazy. Illuminar not having it easy as Lonesome Veggie tries to win against 4. He simply can't pull it off. 9 to 5 it is, and Crazy win another miraculous round. This time around, even cleaner. Their eco win. Illuminar have to reinvest though. That's just the nature of it. You go on for the reinvestment, it will be 47s. AWP here for Snacks. Yeah, that's the purchase.
I love the fact that the Illuminar players just committed to the B site. Like, this is fine. We don't have a bomb, but this is fine. Just showing that Illuminar, yeah, they've been a little bit disheveled throughout this series. Veggie, though, the one player that actually has been maybe the most stable on the Illuminar roster here. Keeping the side, keeping their hopes and dreams alive as Veggie being tapped down, does lose his life eventually. Back to a 3-on-3, some solid trades to keep Crazy in the round. But Illuminar, yeah, I think if this does end up at another 10 to 5, I mean, even 9 to 6 is a scary scoreline, knowing that on Inferno, Crazy did make 10 rounds out of it. And look at the confidence. Already a T-sided flank on the way from CSGO. With the way that Illuminar are moving their sort of slow pace right now, they will check it eventually. Snacks will go for a swing, but until they commit to the site, CSGO shouldn't move anywhere close to peeking A main. He knows exactly what is up here. So, yeah, they have exactly the right run about this. CSGO doesn't need to aggress yet, but chooses to, as Snacks at least minimizes the damage, makes it into a 3v2, but, well, great return by Toxic. Innocent, though, surely has a great position here. Oh, okay.
Oh, nice one from Innocent. Manages to get the frag at 1, and Snacks chimes in as well. 9 to 6. I'd say all things considering that Crazy were leading this one 7-1. Illuminar can be rather happy of their accomplishments. 6 rounds being achieved, not bad. Really not bad stuff. And now the fact that they'll be playing on the CD side, there's still hope for them to close things out on this second map, as difficult as things were on the first.
There is always that opportunity, especially CT-sided train. Illuminar calling for a little bit of an early technical issue. No, we did have some issues previously. Look at the leaderboard again, though. It's pretty much a repeating Inferno where you have sort of some very decent kills at the top end of the Illuminar leaderboard. At least much more consistency compared to what we saw in Inferno, where PHR and Snacks had or Innocent maybe had 2 or 3 kills. But then you look at the likes of Crazy, you've got Toxic on 17 frags, you've got Psycho on 14 kills. Makes it so powerful here, and especially if they can kickstart their run of form on the T side like they did on the second half of Inferno, where they took the pistol round, really started to gain that momentum quickly again. Going to be a real tough time for Illuminar, but the one thing that we can sort of edge in their favor is the fact that it's their map pick. It's the fact that it's CT's side on their map pick. This should be the most comfortable that we've seen Illuminar all series here.
I'd agree with that notion. You know, the players here off Illuminar in a position where they're now on the CT side of all places. You know, CT side of train as well. This is where they have a great opportunity to start racking up some rounds their way, especially if they get the pistol. That's 9-9. If they get the first gun round as well, suddenly that puts them in a much more winnable position here on the second map, and that's what you want to see, a competitive best of 3 out of these two teams.
Exactly what we're looking for here. Swiss stage, we know it's brutal. Illuminar lose sort of the second round in here, then they have one final, well, not one final attempt, they've got 3 essentially if they keep winning, but they know that sort of one loss pretty much writes them out of this one, so they are looking to ensure their safety here, looking to take this to Vertigo. I mean, we thought Illuminar had a very gifted veto here, and maybe they would have if they had Reeds, or maybe they would have if they had Rallen even. It seems like, again, they've just not been able to get into that fluidity state. Hopefully they can find their motion here, and well, great first entry, but it is Psycho that returns a trade. Innocent with the USP, proficient. Only for 2, as now the trade's being returned. PHR dinked and finished. And now they know at least the position of 1 Veggie. Able to sneak out of Connector though, and at least cause an inconvenience.
Oh, 9-7. Not bad here for Illuminar. That's the start they're looking for on this CT side. You know, they get that pistol round going, and even though initially things could look very well, at the very end you can see that, all right, things get kind of close. Well, in this instance, Crazy for Spy seems to be on the cards. There we go. Will be the investment coming in from Crazy, and well, it's all over the place. You got the Khalil here for Sirius, the Scout here for Sensi, the other players, some pistols in the back 10. It's not the most optimal investment, but even so, it can work on a map like Train. Damn. Oh, he's so close. Innocent is aware of it, though. Let's see, damn, will he find the right timing on the push?
One could be brutal here for Illuminar if they're not aware of this. Well, fortunately, they do seem to be, but Demk, like you say, the timing works out. The bomb plant will go down. Innocent, though, seems to be stepping up for the side here. Gets away with 2. Perfect. Make it a 3rd as well, finally. They'll take him down, but the MP9 this time, actually, not sufficing. Mao's into the position, but luckily Snacks from behind, leaving Sensei into the 1 versus 2. Of course, he will not get out of that position. 9-7. Crazy. Turning it into, Illuminar turning it into 8. Making sure that that T side is not running away yet. Bomb plant down, though. Is it going to sort of enable Crazy to go for another buy round? Not this time. Deagle is out on the field, so a chance for Illuminar to make it 9 and at least tie things up here.
Oh, that is absolutely up for grabs for a team like Illuminar. The 1 round way to do so, and in a fashion where they absolutely have a chance. It's pistols they have to go up against, just a few deagles and armor. Shouldn't be that much of a problem, but this is CS we're talking about, and we've seen rounds like this being picked up by Ts and CTs all throughout its existence. Sensei, though, I'm trying to challenge a player like Snacks. I'm never a really big fan of a player from the CT side playing right below the pop dog area. It feels like such a vulnerable position to hold. At the same time, though, Snacks seems to be really comfortable to hold his ground, not moving an inch. Well, Crazy have already expanded some of the utility they had in this round, so now they're just going to have to rely on some raw aim and possibly good timings. Because right now, it does feel like 4 players want to commit on the B-bomb side.
Seeming likely, Veggie Mouse doing some great damage here, as easy as it can be. I was going to say they will get a bomb plant, but they don't get a plant out of that one. Crazy. They will go for the full buy round coming up here. Illuminar will now, of course, be on a great little track to get themselves just back into the game, back into the series, ensure their survival. More so try and take this to Inferno. Oh, sorry, Vertigo. Well, they are really starting to come up big here as Illuminar. No AWP, so Sensei might have a bit of an advantage there. But with the way that players like Innocent, Veggie have been playing with the rifles, you feel like that might be enough in terms of the defenses to be safe, to take themselves a victory here on the full rifle round. Ivy control looking to be somewhat established. Veggie, though, has to be careful. Gets himself right underneath the pop dog ladder. Both Psycho and Toxic waiting for any attack. But Crazy. See what they can bring. T-side on map like Train is definitely a dangerous one to be playing. Does take a lot of team composure, a lot of skill. Ooh, Toxic. Tagged up very heavily. Seems like Crazy will be heading toward the A-bomb site here. Ivy, main, and Pop Dog split. It's going to be a very comprehensive round for Crazy. A lot of rotating, moving parts. They can make it. It'll be a very solid site take. 35 seconds. Probably now's the time to go. You've got a lot of angles to check. Do not want to be leaving it too late to enter the site.
All right, go for this one. Sergius. Oh, he's got his back. PHR. Oh no, he lets his teammate die. That's horrible. However, Illuminar, 20 seconds. They can still hold into the side itself, or will they? Psycho, good kill. And Innocent, though, not going to deny the ball plant just yet. Does deny the life of Psycho, and also eliminates Sensei. Low HP players remain. Demk and Toxic. Illuminar looking very good, but Toxic gets 2. Now Mouse left in a 1v1. Toxic playing this one oh so well. He's not going to go in for the peak. He knows he's incredibly low on HP, but Mouse getting incredibly close right now. Toxic playing the mind games. And oh, he's so ready. He's so ready to win the round. And Crazy have their own individuals stepping up when it matters most.
So good. That is exactly what they needed. Somebody to just take the reins, win out on a clutch, and get away with a very nice round. Crazy there first in the second half. That is what you love to see. So it started so well for Illuminar as well. The retake was there. It was ready. But unfortunately, Toxic, step ahead of the game. Mind games played a part there as well, just peeking the side. And well, seeming like this round is already kicking off. Sensei opens things up beautifully. Gets the first kill onto Innocent. And you can see with the buy round of Illuminar, they lose this one. They're pretty much down in the dirt. Crazy have a great opportunity to start knocking Illuminar out of this second half once again. The utility is low. Snacks is on a glass cannon AWP. Losing this round does break the bank, so Crazy having potentially a very solid opportunity to start to, again, reaffirm their control here on Train.
Nice shot from Snacks, though. He's feeling pressure, though considers to press forward and now even backs away. Slick movement from Snacks. Veggie gets the kill on Toxic. Now, as we can see, Sergius will begin to make his way out of Ivy. Problem is, though, Snacks is ready and waiting for such an incoming push. Veggie gets another kill. That's impressive. Veggie finds more. Sergius now incredibly low on HP, considering there's Mouse shooting at his back. And still remember Snacks, though, expecting the player to come from this Ivy position. Sergius is problematic. He's incredibly low on HP, making him an easy target for a player like Mouse. And there we go. 10 to 10 it is. Illuminar managed to even things up once more. And Crazy, not a lot of cash in their department. In fact, they're really lacking in terms of money.
Really are at this point. Crazy will have to go down onto a little bit of a half pistol buy. I mean, they do look deadly in those sort of positions, actually. So scarily could be a chance for Crazy to start maybe whittling away, but they don't have Kevlar. They can't particularly afford to invest into the armor itself, especially for a player like Sensei, who are desperately wanting to post that AWP with Snacks on his. It's pretty much mandatory here to have a sniper on that T side. Again, Crazy will be looking to make sure that their rounds do not escape them entirely. Illuminar a chance to establish the lead here. Will only be by a single round, but gives them a great opportunity start to work this one in their favor. But again, T side taking it super slow. They have a single flashbang ready for the deployment out on the A side, ready for the pop dog and main splits. Bomb plant probably the main aim of this round. Site control might be established from the flashbang, but you can tell with the way that Illuminar are playing, they're not wanting to be up close and personal. They know it's an eco round, so they will just keep their distance here.
Yeah, keeping the distance is the right way, but at the same time, you don't want to allow it to get on the site itself, because now Psycho's in a position to actually plant that bomb. Or maybe PHR will be able to stop things. No, the bomb plant will still commence, so not that bad for Crazy. They were given this opportunity to get that bomb down. They do so successfully. Extra money in their pockets, and Demke knows the round's lost, and it will go in favor of Illuminar. But there we go. This is something we haven't seen in a while, and that is Illuminar being confident in their approach. Even here, they know the bomb site is being very rapidly overwhelmed. And yet, they're more than willing to play it safe, allow the opponents to take set map control, and then they come in with a retake. Very nice stuff from Illuminar.
Beautiful. Back in the lead they go. Crazy now able to establish that further reinvestment. They'll be going for that AWP as we expected. Sensei needing the sniper to be able to challenge a player like Snacks here. However, this time, he is down toward the A bomb site, toward the B bomb site. So he has switched things up entirely for this round. We'll be playing towards more of a posted lower ramp setup, however. This time, Crazy. Bit of a turn of pace, although doesn't particularly work out for them. Demk already down to low. They try and pin to the bomb site. Oh, Toxic. Oh, this could be good. He gets away with one, make it two. Back to a 4-on-3, although Demk does lose a very easy battle. Height advantage works out for Veggie. Drops down to keep his side supported, though, but Toxic, as that smoke starts to dissipate, this is where Veggie might have a chance, but still able to keep it alive, but not for long. PHR and more so Veggie stepping up to keep the round alive.
Oh, geez, I cannot believe it. But the players of Illuminar bounce back with an incredible retake here. This is some nice shooting. Even though initially, Crazy looking pretty solid, this move from Toxic thought this is the round-ending scenario. He goes in for the 2 kills, and now they're in a prime position to win that round. But of course, Player of Heaven really puts a spanner in the works there. And 12-10, Illuminar leading in the map. Nothing too significant, just the 2 rounds. But if they can keep up the pressure as they've been doing so far, I mean, they are looking so good to close things out in the second map and then put us on Vertigo.
The way that it's going, third map is looking incredibly likely. Crazy right now are on the road to allowing Illuminar back into this game, and well, they already have, but with how good their T-side performance was on Inferno, I was expecting maybe something of the same, some more of that faster paced action, the later round decisions where they actually do look incredibly comfortable. But it's not the case this time. They haven't really put a lot of attention on the B site in this second half, so maybe that is something that they are looking to do here this time. Smoke down, flashbang to maybe try and ward a little bit of attention from Illuminar. They'll stack a second player just in case. But Crazy. It's more of the same here. A-sided smokes, flashes over the top. It's going to be an elaborate fake, though. Down to the B site they go.
Toxic. Oh, it does go down. There's no utility usage whatsoever, and they're being shut down, rightfully so. But maybe this is all part of an elaborate fake on the A bomb site. 20 seconds remain. Crazy trying to go with the bomb site itself, but Innocent still holds the ground. Does go down to Sensei. Dem chimes in, and Veggie gets the 1. Just enough time for Psycho to get that bomb plant. However, you can see that Snacks is getting close. Ooh, what is Snacks doing? Don't tell me this is how they're gonna win it. Mouse. Oh, he loses to Psycho. And that's another clutch here for Crazy.
That's Snacks there. Trying to commit through the Molotov. He gave up not just his health, but the sound info. Psycho, all he needed was that Little bit of an opportunity. You give him an inch, he'll take the mile, and crazy. They close the scoreline ever further. And have a quick overview of the economy actually during this pause as well. Innocent, not particularly too stable. Maus, of course, down in the dirt. PHR just about able to purchase. Luckily, Veggie can drop out a weapon, though, so it's not going to be too bad of a situation. It is going to more so maybe leave them with the lesser utility on some. But it does mean that Illuminar at least have a further buy round. But crazy, this is a massive opportunity to present not just the tie of the scoreline, but the taking of the lead as well. 13-12 is on the horizon, providing that they get away with a victory here. And, oh, crazy so far. Seems like they might have to be a little bit more tactically enabled. Bit of a fake out on the B side, worked out beautifully. Did rely on a couple of sacrifices, but the rest of Crazy turned up. See what they can bring to a round like this, especially now that they are whittling down the utility, not just on the Illuminar side, but they're not too advanced on their team either. A couple of smokes, 2 Molotovs, 3 flashbangs. It's not great, especially for a map like Train that really does require the utility on both of the A and B bomb sites. So more reliant maybe on the aim duels to come, but the smokes might be enough. The flashbang was great though. Sergiz loses the battle, and that will start to direct Crazy down toward the B bomb site.
It's their only hope right now. Try and successfully commit on the B-bomb side and hope this will go their way. Demk already aware of the incoming flank and he shuts down Innocent. There's Toxic moving in as well. Veggie responds. Oh, but Veggie gets another one. The problem is for a player like Demk is that they are aware of his positioning. He is incredibly low in HP. The one good thing is that they don't have a kit on the side of Illuminar, so... Oh, but Demk, whoa, okay, I'm surprised that he was allowed to just walk out there by snacks. But no worries, the victory will still go here for Illuminar. It will be 13 for them.
Keeping that steady, clock's ticking. 13-11, the money, ooh, crazy. It's just about enough to support a buy round on even the minimum players like Sensei. Psycho should be dropping out an AWP here. He has plenty of cash, and that is exactly what he will do. Utility again, a little bit lackluster. Not massively, but there is still a breaking point for Illuminar. They've not yet reached that point of safety. Not been able to find the early sort of build-up of economy. Sensei taking out Snacks, one of the vital components here, and well, look at this. PHR trying to sneak through the smoke, but he's left in the 1v4. Toxic comes shifting along, finishes the job. 13-12, and Crazy, they break the bank of Illuminar. There is a chance to tie the scoreline now. It's even going to be a force buy, actually, just realized.
Yeah, that's the scary nature right now. Illuminar, they are not swimming in cash right now. So double eco is up for grabs, but you very rarely get to see a team going for the double eco nowadays. What instead you see is a force buy in this round, like you say, and then the next one, if they fail, should be a proper eco. But that is if they fail. I mean, chances are that even a round like this, you can contest it. You can absolutely try and win it. Then again, you lose it here, you lose the next one. 14-13 is the potential scoreline for a team like Crazy. From there on out, a few more rounds in, and that's the end of the best of 3. Something Illuminar want to make sure does not take place. And so, yeah, force buy it is. Or is it though? Yeah, it is.
Here we go. Like you say, as expected, forced buy to come through. Crazy understanding completely that, like you say, there is a huge opportunity for them to start to close out the series here. Illuminar, they, with their rotational 5th player, with the issues they have at the moment, or with the way that Vertigo was yesterday against Tiki Tak, and they had a massive opportunity to get back into that game and sort of faltered right at the last minute. But even so, They're not out of this yet. The scoreline will be tied, and more so a lead probably taken by Crazy themselves with the eco round that is on the way. The quick finish of this one, and more so a clean finish for Crazy, giving them plenty of cash to work with in the rounds moving forward. 14-13 might just be on the cards here, as Crazy should be able to take the lead off of the back of the full eco, and more so start to really mount the pressure onto Illuminar.
Yeah, because the investment here is just barren. I mean, it's just a few upgraded pistols. That's about it. So, Illuminar not looking too hot. They're going to go for a bit of a stack here. I mean, that is probably their best way to go about it. There's the utility deployed here by a team like Crazy, but it will be a B-side hit. There's the flash. They're going to clear out every single nook and cranny. Luckily for them, though, Illuminar didn't stack the B-bomb set. Otherwise, this round could have gone a whole different direction. But here, Crazy get the bomb plant. Round is won, for sure. It's just that the question remains, how clean can they make it? Because still, some players from Illuminar are going for, a bit of a hunt. And same could be said for the Crazy players. I mean, look at this. Demk playing as close as he can. Same could be said for Psycho. It's a dangerous game they're playing here. They could potentially give away an AK-47.
There
just
we
like
go.
that.
Exactly the case. Yeah, get away with some great damage here. A couple of AKs to be swiped is perfect. Might not be able to get out with the second one, actually, but at least you get away. There we go. Yeah, innocent. The secondary AK. So plenty to be able to give there to Illuminar. More so, it's not even the fact that they give up the rifles, but it's the fact that they know the economy is going to be good enough to allow for the defuse kits to come through, the full sets of utility to be bought here. That's the sort of deeper way you've got to look at a round like that. You can think, sure, it's only an AK 2.7k. I make that back by winning the round, but it's more so what it enables Illuminar to actually buy into for a round like this, a vital round, let's say. That's crazy. We'll continue to try and employ a run of pace here into this round. The damage already done, but look at Toxic lightning fast here as he will find two on the entry. That is beautiful, and he's not slowing down for nobody.
Oh, I love to see this play from Toxic. It's just that even though he did such an amazing job, his teammates are falling. And that's the weird part. I was thinking this is such a great round for a team like Crazy, but now I have my doubts. But Toxic, at least good for the one more frag. There we go, eliminates Mouse. However, even though Toxic came in with a flank of his own, there is another flank incoming in the form of Innocent. So he should get his, and he does. So for Toxic to win this one, it has to be an ace clutch.
He's got to be mad. With the good work that he did in that round, he has got to be so mad with how it goes. Does the right thing, though. Makes his way toward the B bomb site. He's bamboozled Snacks here. Will be able to get a plant safely, at least ensures that the bomb will go down. There is a rotate made by Innocent, though, right the way through Pop Dog, and they know exactly where he's coming from. Toxic. I mean, if you're in that situation and you make two good entries like that, you sacrifice your life and come out with a double kill, and you get 3 trades and your teammates fall around you, that's gotta hurt right here. Again, it's more of an expensive round for Illuminar, considering the damage done, but, I mean, Toxic, he gets out with 34 health, he gets 2 entries, even the third on the flank, he plays such a good game, but the rest of the side just gets caught out, unfortunately, and weren't vigilant enough like Toxic was. So 14-14, Rebuy can come through, but Crazy, they still understand and still know Illuminar are on breaking point here.
Oh, nice attempt from Sensei, but simply doesn't get the tag. What does surprise me, however, is that, yes, Toxic goes out there and gets the 2 frags, but I really would love to see the POV of the other players from Crazy. What happened that they lost their aim duels? What occurred there? Well, let's talk about what's happening now. Demk and Psycho losing big chunks of their health. A little bit the satisfying way to kick things off, especially if you're a player Psycho. There's the Molotovs being deployed as well. A lot of utility usage coming in from Illuminar. I'd like to say maybe a bit too early. They're still keeping on to the free smoke grenades, though. Those could really come in handy considering the slow play style of a team like Crazy. Even so, AWP in the hands of Sensei, but he's yet to find anything. Maybe here towards Ivy he can get something done. There's the smoke. There's the wraparound here on a player like PHR, though. Where's the peek from Demk? Where is it? Oh no, this is a little bit dissatisfying. Demk comes out on top, but Veggie still finds him. The remaining players pushing on the B bomb site. The wraparound is coming in as well, but the bomb's been dropped, and the plan fails.
Oh boy. Illuminar might have just done what is necessary now, because look at the money from Crazy. 5.9 on Sergiz, 5k on Toxic. Psycho can at least get a full purchase too, but players like Sensei, players like Demk, who have been turning up here in this T side, have definitely not got enough to buy here. AWP will be dropped out. That is the... Oh, is it the right choice to make? That's the question. You've got players like Sergiz putting out a higher kill to death sort of output than players like Sensei. Toxic, 30 frags. He has got to be a highlight player again this map for Crazy. It might not be enough here. Tactical timeout taken by Illuminar just to give them that little bit more structure and stability, especially in such a deep run of rounds like this. They need, especially with PHR and just this sort of fifth man who's not tactically aligned, they need to reiterate exactly what needs to go down in this round, because Crazy, despite Illuminar looking great, are still only a single round away from pushing this game into overtime. And you've got to think, if it goes to overtime, is a not messy squad, but dysfunctional squad of Illuminar going to make it through overtime?
Yeah, that's the scary thing, isn't it? Even though they've been looking pretty solid here in the second half, if we do go to overtime, things could get tricky. But at the same time, I'll give them some credit. When you take a look at some of the rounds they've lost, it really has come down to them having a weak economy and just not having the money for the proper investment. Whoa, that is a ballsy move from Sensei! Almost gets two. But now, this is a doable round. Innocendo struggling to get the kill. Dem comes out on top. Veggie pops in. And now Illuminar got a really good chance. Veggie finding two. Psycho, oh, he does not respond. And maybe Veggie's just done it. Illuminar, just one kill away from securing 16 on train. And the way this one's playing out seems to be very likely, as Demk just moving around the site. Yeah, they're two low HP players, but it will be easy for Illuminar to just shut him down. O's in for the op. And Demk, okay, actually gets the kill on Snacks. There we go. Maybe there's a chance.
Still open for business here. Molotov, though, that is perfect. Mouse. Rapid deployment of the utility there. Straight back down to the A bomb site. Veggie has to be so careful, but I think he just spotted the shoulder. Knows exactly what is up here. Will deploy the smoke. But Demk, he's playing mind games. He's trying to toy with the Illuminar side. Down to the B bomb site he goes, and scarily, he gets the opportunity to cross right now. The one thing that they won't mind giving up, though, is the bomb plant. It will ensure they know exactly where the player is, but Demk, that's going to overtime, surely. 12 points of health on Veggie. How does he look to win this against an AWP?
Well, that's the thing as well. If Demk somehow misses the one shot, there's the chance for Veggie to win this one. But Demk is not aware of how low Veggie is, but he finds the perfect timing. And it will be a clutch victory for Crazy. I just want to point out that there has been 3 clutches won by Crazy here in the second half. And imagine if those rounds would have simply gone in favor of the Illuminar. That's it. That's their victory here in the second map. But they failed time and time again. They've given these opportunities for Psycho, for Demk, for Toxic, and now they'll have to pay the repercussions.
This is what we're saying. Illuminar in overtime. How will they perform? Because Crazy, they are still ensuring that this game right now is safe. They still have some sort of technical advantage. As Illuminar, as they come into this with, let's say, depleted morale, a depleted roster, let's say. This is where CR4ZY might just be able to hammer home right here. As we see the start of the sort of first overtime. A little bit of a technical pause here by CR4ZY. Should be a quick start to the round itself. Double AWP out for the CT side. Mouse and Snacks picking those up. But again, for a team like CR4ZY, I mean, with how good they looked on the CT side, one round or so in T side overtime might be enough, but with the way that they can start to really get into the minds of Illuminar now, anything could be possible. The fact that first map is already in the hands of CR4ZY, the fact that they know they can close out the series just by winning this one, they're not taking this lightly in the slightest.
I wonder what are the emotions in the camp of Illuminar right now. Good thing this pause actually took place, because I think emotions must be high that, you know, you lost so many winnable scenarios, and well, not the great start here. Sensei, great response, but there's good trade fragging potential. Innocent responds. And I'll look at Psycho as well. Moving in the Ivy position, just as the Heat might be expected the least. But look at PHR though, the wraparound, so good on Sergiz. And CR4ZY again, they start things off on a well foot. I mean, go in there, get the entry frags, trade frags, sure, but a free on free, and yet seem to struggle these scenarios.
Especially with players like Innocent who have that confidence to start going for a flank. Still Demko, the timing could not be worse there. Mouse coming in, taking him down. Innocent on the flanks. Does he have the info is the question. Bomb is down. Might have been spotted by Innocent as well, or at least it's been spotted by the CT holders. What is that? Psycho was inspecting the weapon, just about kills off Innocent. But as he's down to 15, there is very little hope here. Grabs the AWP. It's the right choice to make as he takes out one, but PHR trades. First round for Illuminar. Double AWP at least pays off for now.
Surely that could not have been another clutch going the way of CR4ZY. I mean, that would have been just insane. Illuminar losing so many clutches on this second half. And well, in overtime at least, they're going to make sure that does not take place. I'd also say this was one of the big problems for Illuminar in the second half, why they ended up losing the rounds, is that, you know what, they just didn't have a lot of money, you know? You had one of the players from CR4ZY step up with a massive clutch. He didn't win the round, and then the next one, Illuminar would have to go for some sort of partial investment, some shot investment, or some sort of eco. That's the opportunity for CR4ZY to get back into this one, and well, in overtime, it's a good start. It's a 4-on-4. Sergiz eliminates PHR. But then again, we've seen CR4ZY in these situations time and time again. They actually pull it off again.
Scary part here for CR4ZY. Also for Illuminar, that the pace could just change so quickly. CR4ZY will be looking to maybe hit themselves a rotate down onto the B bomb site, but look at the information being gathered by Innocent now. They'll clear out main, but more so clear out Ivy. Pretty much guarantee that this is a B-sided take, and Illuminar, they're going to be ready for it. They're going to be prepared. 3 men on the site. Innocent ready for the flank. It's going to be such a hard round for CR4ZY to win. Oh, Veggie. Oh, good read by Dem. Snacks, though, chimes in. Gets away with 2. Good return, but again, it's the flank that becomes an issue. Oh, the health, though. Look at this. Snacks on 12. 1 bullet to do the job on either side.
Oh, 10 seconds as well. Is Demka where? Yes, he is. Another clutch here going in favor of CR4ZY, and it doesn't even matter if Snacks has a stellar hold in the bomb site. Will not go their way. I mean, I've only noticed this just right now, but take a look at Veggie's fragging potential. 32 frags. He's been playing some amazing CS here in Train. And even on Inferno as well, he had his moments. And he's still continuing to shine here. especially now when his team needs him the most.
One player that we sort of said on Inferno as well was looking like the supportive element here for the side of Illuminar, and yeah, he's doing exactly that here. Being such a confident player. Final round of the first half of overtime here. CR4ZY once again seeming to default back around to more of an A-sided take. Little bit of attention put onto the B side. Snack's taking quite a hit there, actually. Will be depleted down to 54 points of health, but with the way that this one currently is starting to take shape. Solid tags across the board, no real major damage yet. But looking like CR4ZY are just playing super default. I mean, they've got plenty of time on the board to work with, but again, is it going to be convincing enough is the question. CSGO doesn't want to stick around for that Molotov. Oh, but again, look at this. Flanking through Pop Dog. It's so fast. They don't even realize it.
Oh, Snacks, very good to get the frag and Toxic, and now slow playstyle of CR4ZY could come back to backfire. BHR, good frag and Sensei, sure, but now the players of CR4ZY, they've shut off some presence on the A-bomb side, but they're still trying to go for the commitment here. This frag matters oh so much. CSGO firing off the bullets, but PHR is still playing it safe, not revealing his position just yet, as the players from CR4ZY are barging their way to the bomb site itself. Mouse has got the high ground, and CSGO, so many players to find, he can't catch them all. And it will be 17-16. This is how, you know, the half of things should have played out. The T's should not have gotten more than 2 rounds, and CR4ZY managed to get the 1, which I'd say for a team of their caliber, the 1 could potentially be just enough.
CT side start especially, yeah, they looked very good. In terms of the way that they were able to begin, we saw them go 7-1 on the CT side before Illuminar could really start to make their response here. So, for certain, there is a real opportunity that Illuminar might just be, like you say, not as safe as they might think. Sensei on that AWP. Flashbang is absolutely perfect. Scarily, it was a Snack's assist there that got Innocent killed. Hopefully, that is not the case, but unfortunate if it is. And, oh, some great damage traded back, though. Sensei down to 4 points of health. It's not a kill, it's not a refrag. CSGO just about gets out safely. Doesn't want to overextend or overcommit. Sensei boosted onto Connector. They've got some high ground to play with, but it's more so the Ivy presence from Illuminar.
Ooh, there's a lot of it. Lonesome CSGO has to hold on to this position. I mean, right now he's just trying to spot anyone coming his way. Once he sees, he chucks in the flashbang, but he's also going to give the information to his teammates. And you can see that already Illuminar, the one big difference is that they're playing a little bit faster here compared to CR4ZY. There's a smoke being deployed. CSGO is just going to go for a wild spray, gets himself the 1, deals excess damage on CSGO, and now the round will come to an end. PHR and Snacks remain, but as you can see, it's hardly winnable. Around 30 seconds on the clock, 5 players to find. Snacks, however, doesn't go down without a fight.
That Molotov might be... Oh, never mind. I was going to say that Molotov might be a nuisance, but it doesn't even land. Sensei, 4 points of health, but finishing the job. AK swiped and CR4ZY. First round on the board. Illuminar, of course, straight back into that rebuy. We know their T side was very ropey, though, very up and down. We'll see if they can keep some sort of stability. CR4ZY in with a very good chance right now of extending their scoreline up to not just map point, but series point as well. A real opportunity right now to at least close out the 2-0, ensure that we don't need to go to Vertigo, a map that we saw go very close for Illuminar yesterday as well. But either way, Ivy control again. Looking to be established. Demk clears out the close corner, ensures that Olof is safe. Turns his attention to Pop Dog. Might get an opportunity to strike onto CSGO, but not this time. Doesn't want to elect to peek or die early. That's the more to the point. But Illuminar to be a B-sided rotate, something that Crazy this time do seem aware of. Double player stacks. They've got a player on the default bomb site position, one under the ladder defending ramp. It's a competent setup. Will it pay off for Crazy as Illuminar will start to make their hit?
Oh, Toxic. Oh, he allows one of the... Oh, the second player as well. This is so good for Toxic. Finally, Psycho springs into action. Now Toxic goes in as well. And that's how the cookie crumbles. Illuminar get absolutely destroyed on the B-bomb site commitment, leaving it all up to lonesome PHR to pick up the pieces. But this Jenga has been torn to shreds.
So good from Crazy. So good right now. This is beautiful to watch. The fact that Illuminar, like you say, they get, you know, in their sort of mind, they're doing exactly the right thing. Don't challenge through the sort of close choke points. Put a little bit of distance between you and the CT defenders. But that position out of Toxic was absolutely beautiful. Just lets them cross, translates the info to his teammates. That's all you need. As long as you've got the firepower to take them down, it's all they had to do. Tactical pause out of Illuminar, giving them a little bit of a breaking stride in this overtime, but scarily, it's Crazy that are up to map and series point now. They're looking to close out Train here.
Scoreline, as close as it is, potential is there for a team like Crazy to close things out, but at the same time, Illuminar, it only takes the one to put them in another race of overtime. So far, you know, the T-side has not been looking great. Very much reminiscent of how it played out in the first half as well. You know, Crazy with some very dominant showings. Toxic takes up the sleeve here on the B-bomb set. The solo anchor, instead of playing passively in the bomb set, he from time to time will change things up, go out there in the brown halls. And Illuminar, this is the change of pace we are looking for. They're going for the commitment here, but the problem is Veggie is out, but none of his teammates have joined him. Demk takes the hit, but Psycho's got the high ground to at least find one, as PHR though playing it very close by the smoke, and Psycho gets himself one, not the two. However, there's the response from Illuminar. They finally get something going.
Oh, PHR down to 3 points of health though, unfortunately. No!
Oh!
It's not gonna be enough. PHR, the man that steps up to the plate, does exactly that again. Single bullet, 3 points of health. You can't stop him.
Oh my, I thought for sure with 3 points of health you can stop him, but apparently not. PHR, what a great run. And an ace as well, that's the thing, he managed to kill every single player in that round. Unbelievable scenes, great run of form there. And now, we're back to the second set of overtime here, folks, 18-18. This means for either team to come out on top, someone's going to have to get 22. And even though Crazy has been looking sterile so far, that's just the nature of the CD side of Train. Lose that one round, potential is there for your opponents to get back into this one. Back to another set of overtime. That's what you want to make sure. You want to make sure that you win the CT half without losing a single round. It's difficult, but possible.
One thing that is a worry, it does come down to the fact that it needs a 1v3 or 1v5 or whatever the situation is. If Illuminar aren't consistently sort of making rounds as a team here, it's going to be Crazy that will have the upper hand here in the CT side like they did exactly so in the first 2 rounds. Should have been the entire situation wrapped up and done there, really. PHR keeps the dream alive. Some great damage nice and early. 3 players tagged now. They move in toward the A bomb site. 45 on the clock. They do have plenty of time. Sensei burning in the Molotov. Does manage to get out of it with just half of his health remaining. But look at the way that Illuminar are set up right now. It's pretty much a straight line approach right here. Demk, however, will spot out the info, but PHR strikes. Mao's able to return a kill and make it a 5-on-3. This is Super simple for Illuminar. They'll make it into the site. And already a 4-on-2 despite so much damage inflicted. There's nothing crazy can do about it.
Yeah, that's the weird part. Illuminar, they had so many players that have been softened up early on, and yet it doesn't look like that even bothered them. They still had a great run of form here, and well, not giving up that easily here, crazy. They're gonna try to go for the retake, as difficult as it may be. There's one kill working out, but I don't really expect him to win a round with Lonesome Surges in the 1-on-3, and well, not gonna happen. Illuminar, they managed to pick up at least the one round on the T side of Train, and I'd say this is the most important part. Get at least that one round in, and some of you can contest this one. But if you were to pick up 0, that becomes a lot harder.
Seems like Vertigo is still on the cards. Illuminar looking to send us dizzy here in this series. Crazy. Back into a full bite. Only a single AWP, actually. Might have expected a player like Toxic or Demp to actually go for a secondary sniper just because they're playing a great game. It might have enabled them to work better here, but look at this. Veggie. The amount of damage that this man has been doing so far is absolutely insane. His fragging power on Train has been nuts so far. Oh, Innocent. Pristine. Sprays down Surges. Makes it a 5-on-3 already. At least a return frag. And with Veggie being low, there might be a swift trade potential. But it's already the B bomb site they're putting under pressure. Psycho with a great rotate. Might not be expected, actually. His position. Oh, it could be winnable here.
Oh, he even hears the guy being right above him. But Psycho, when he will pull the trigger, oh, that's a bit satisfying that he pulls the trigger first on the guy above him, and only then on the player inside. Oh, wow. Okay, 20-18 it is. Illuminar might be on the brink of victory here on Train. I cannot believe that it actually has come to this. Mitchell is there. Illuminar purchase. But as for crazy, I mean, triple op setup on the CT side. Now, if this doesn't scream desperation, I don't know what does.
Seriously. Crazy putting everything out on a whim here to try and stay in the series. More so stay in the map, of course. They do have the advantage. But Toxic. Oh, there we go. Putting some work on the board with that AWP. Only gets away with the one. Able to burn up these players quite heavily. But still a 4-on-3. A very late rotate, but might not matter, actually. Demk there with the damage onto Innocent. Flank already being taken out. Those snacks. Great little refrag. And with both of these players on the AWP, particularly in most rounds, I wouldn't advise this, but it actually might pay off here. With Crazy themselves having 2 snipers, it might actually benefit them with Mouse in this sort of position. We'll see how it goes. But time is ticking. They've got to make a move right now. And Mouse, he could ring around the rosy here.
Oh, this is a little bit awkward as well. Snacks in prime position trying to shut things down. Oh, is there enough time? Yes, there is. Just enough for Surges to get the defuse in. And Crazy, I mean, not the most convincing of round wins, if I'm being honest, but at least they get the one. It is, however, a rather difficult scenario for them because now they're going to have to play on the T side of all places. And, well, they've shown they're not really capable of winning a lot of T side rounds. And in order to secure the victory, they're going to have to win all 3 in a row. All 3 in a row for a victory. Of course, if they get 2, that's going to be just enough to get them over the board for another set of overtime. But let's see how it's going to play out. Toxic, Veggie. I mean, these guys are putting in some monster numbers right now.
Seriously, they've got 2 sort of staple head players here of the server, keeping the game alive, and Serg is looking for the entry. Toxic-esque, we can say. Well, there's Toxic, yeah. Able to come through with the damage, but Snacks, the aggro, already pushing through there as he takes out at least a frag. Psycho returns the damage, makes it back to a 2 versus 2. Innocent, though, caught off guard. And it seems like Crazy might be back to pay a little visit. 1-on-2 is still doable, but Psycho making sure the bomb is safe for now. They'll clear the bomb site before they go for the plant. Make sure all these angles are safe, and Mouse, he will reposition. Checks every single spot. With so much time left on the board, CR4ZY actually seemed like he might be contemplating a bit of a rotate, but no, they are just checking the flanks, making sure that the round is safe, but still, the one thing you can't take away from is the fact that Mouse has now isolated it down into a 1v1, with Psycho being half health. Definitely doable, although Mouse does think it's the B bomb site for a sweet second, realizes now that it might be the A side.
Oh, and the scary thing as well for Psycho is that his opponent has got a Molotov. He throws it at this specific angle right now. That's going to force a player like Psycho to waste valuable seconds. I wonder where Mouse will throw it on the Molotov, though. There are, in fact, so many angles to check right now that he cannot be 100% sure where to go for. And Psycho, I mean, perfect timing. Does get a bit of a tag, but eventually there's just a few seconds remaining. Mouse not going to win this one. Psycho is more than aware of it. He is... Oh, no. Is there enough time? No. Okay. Nice attempt from Mouse, but it is the victory here for CR4ZY. Their first one on the T side of train.
Gotta be 2 more in a row if they do wish to close this one out. Illuminar back, of course. Straight to that force or into the investment. AWP to be given to Innocent, interestingly enough here. Maybe a little bit more of a spawn-dependent peak, perhaps. Not even that. Fair enough. It's going to be just Innocent wanting to take the AWP instead. But look at this from CR4ZY. The one thing they have realized now is maybe a turn of pace might be a way to win themselves around, because right now, here comes the push. Mao's dead, and B site already lost.
There we go. The bomb plant is in. The bomb plant is in right now. CR4ZY finally get it down, and Illuminar gonna try to go for this one. They absolutely have to. There's no reason for them to slow things down, but the fact is, CR4ZY have taken over the bomb site with the players still having utility on their belts, so that's going to force the players of Illuminar to play this one a bit slower than usual. The retake is going to take a lot of time here, and with Psycho getting 2, I don't think there's even a chance. Psycho even swings out for free. Oh my goodness. He is the seasoned CR4ZY player, and Innocent, though, will not escape his wrath, or he might, in fact. With 16 points of health, saving the AWP isn't of top priority. He'll still have loads of money here, but that's sick.
You love to see that. Look at the damage done. I mean, they get so many tags in there, but CR4ZY, they keep it ticking along right now. Illuminar, scarily again, will hear that heartbreaking map point here in their ears as they will go for a further reinvestment. But look at the economy. Snacks, does he have an AWP is the question. I don't even think he does at this point. Maybe one has been dropped out, but again, it is such a dire position they are in right now. CR4ZY looking to close this out in double OT fashion. And here it goes. I'm still, if we could, does Snacks even have an AWP? Does he have a weapon to play with here? Like, that is the one thing that I'm... Surely he does, right? Okay, he does. Yeah. Thank the Lord. I was going to say, if he's playing with a P250, my hope is really down in the bottom of the grave. But fortunately, he does have the weapon ready. CR4ZY, though. It's either a victory here on train, or we're into another batch of overtime.
And CR4ZY are doing something incredible right now, managing to win rounds on the T side as well. Oof. BHR always got to be careful for those engagements, because you're going to go for a bit of a spray, but always expect something on the other end. And now, Shoreline being as close as it is, I mean, Palms, Sweaty, Mom, Spaghetti. So hard to say who can come out on top in this instance. Demk being forced out of the pop dog position. The Molotov burns his feet, so he doesn't want to go for any more engagements just yet. Here's the smoke grenades now being deployed over the A bomb site, but will this be the final destination for CR4ZY though? Innocent, oh, he's going for a very ballsy move. He gets stuck in the smoke, and now he needs to retreat. 50 seconds though. CR4ZY, they do have the advantage.
Oh, look at this as well. They've already taken over a bit of the bomb site here. Mouse, is he aware? Well, yes, he is. Still, CSGO though, trading out the first, and with 35 on the clock, It's down to a 3-on-2. Snacks, you can see he's got the sort of nail in the back, and still there's damage. Nobody hedges a swing yet, though. Wants to play safe, although Mao's, well, he's isolated now. Oh, gets absolutely nothing and crazy. It took them double overtime, but they come out with the victory in the series, 2-0. And Illuminar situation the same fashion as what we saw with Tiki Tak, and there was a chance to take it to a third map like Vertigo. Yes.